Good morning, Manitoba. It is Tuesday, June 17th. You're watching CTV Morning Live. Thank you so much for being with us. Ainsley's going to have so much fun this morning. She's going to do some cheerleading and talk about the growing popularity in the sport of cheerleading. We're going to find out a little bit more about the cheer club and find out a little bit more about what it takes to be a part of the team. But first, your headlines. Heading home, which community evacuees are returning to as the wildfire situation shows more signs of improvement. Trump jets out, Modi touches down, and Zelensky's on the way. The G7 summit's final day is full of movement and one social media feud. And a small tab with a big impact. Teen receives life-changing wheelchair thanks to community donations.
Beautiful start to your Tuesday morning. It's 12 degrees outside, just a little bit of a pinkish hue to that sky after watching the sunrise this morning. The sun is up. It has been for a while now, and it's going to be warming us up. In fact, we're already starting slightly above seasonal at 12 degrees with north-northeast winds very light, just 5 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 94%. Not much to show you on our air quality warnings map, and this is the best news that I've got. All of Manitoba in the clear. There are still some warnings or advisories in parts of northwestern Ontario, but for the most part we are seeing some improvements as that area does seem to be shrinking and downgrading. Here, the possibility of maybe a brief shower for some places in and around Winnipeg or southeastern Manitoba. Not sure if Winnipeg is going to be seeing much of that, but you can see the activity moving right now on the satellite image. It's not going to take long before that's entirely out of the way, and we're looking at clear, sunny conditions after that. Parts of northern Manitoba likely to deal with a bit of precipitation today. Welcomed again because of the dry situation that is still happening across the north. We're going to get back to the sunshine today. Breeze will be getting a little bit stronger into the afternoon. Those winds increasing ever so slightly. Temperatures, though, on the rise, mid-20s expected, and we'll get probably another round of precipitation moving in for Wednesday, likely into the afternoon more so, not just here in the southeast, all of southern, even parts of central Manitoba, seeing some showers, maybe even some thunderstorms. So that'll be for the middle of the week and then clearing out again as we look toward the end of the week and into the coming weekend.
Thank you, Terry. There's new hope for wildfire evacuees. Over the weekend, hundreds were given the green light to return to their communities, and now highways across Lake have reopened and thousands are on their way home. Here's CTV's Jeff Keel.
Buses fill a section of this Winnipeg hotel parking lot as evacuees from Pimicikamak Cree Nation, also known as Cross Lake, pack up and get ready to head to the airport, going home for the first time since wildfires forced them out in late May.
It feels good. Don't really like the hotel life though. It's been moving around a lot lately. Can't wait to go back home to my bed.
It's not just his bed Antoine Kestrel is looking forward to seeing. Some family dogs are with a shelter organization.
I have to try to contact them to send my dog and my brother's dog back to Cross Lake.
As it's deemed safe to do so, more people are being allowed to return to their communities.
And I'm happy to let folks know that some people have returned home and more Manitobans will be heading home today and in the coming days and weeks.
With a population of around 7,000 in Cross Lake and many of them scattered across Manitoba and even in Ontario, it will take some time for everyone to make it back.
We had about 10 chartered flights that are ready to take our people home as well.
Still, Chief David Monius says there was a lot of relief.
There was a lot of laughter, a lot of smiles, and a lot of hugs, and a lot of handshakes, and seeing the people, they're just excited to go home. Winnipeg's great, but home is better.
There are still thousands not yet able to go home, like those from Flin Flon, but there are signs that could change. The city says workers at critical businesses are re-entering to clean and restock shelves, and the mayor says there are efforts to get hospital staff back in place too.
I think there's a lot of hope, and we can seriously think about going back, but they're just not ready yet.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
25 communities are still evacuated. The province says there are evacuees still sleeping on cots in congregate shelters. That includes 40 people in Winnipeg and 150 in Thompson. Wildfire evacuees have been out of their homes for weeks now. This also means they've been away from their doctors and other medical supports. That's why Manitoba Blue Cross is offering to help. The insurance company is offering evacuees free counseling sessions and access to virtual health care services. If any wildfire evacuees need mental health support, they can get up to 3 in-person or virtual counseling sessions with Blue Cross's Employee Assistance Program. They can also use the company's virtual go-to doctor team for some medical issues such as infections, rashes, and allergies. Blue Cross says it will also help evacuees find additional supports if needed. U.S. President Donald Trump has left Kananaskis. He will miss the last day of the G7 summit.
President, any statement on why you're leaving the G7 early for Washington?
Well, I have to be back. Very important. I want to just thank our great host. He did a fantastic job. Thank you. In Canada.
The White House says President Trump had to leave early to deal with the situation in the Middle East. In a social media post, President Trump writes, quote, publicity-seeking President Emmanuel Macron of France mistakenly said that I left the G7 summit in Canada to go back to D.C. to work on a ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Wrong. He has no idea why I'm now on my way to Washington, but it certainly has nothing to do with a ceasefire, end quote. As President Trump left, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Alberta. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is also expected at the summit today.
I've always been a terror. It's simple, it's easy, it's precise, and it just goes very quickly. And I think Mark has a more complex idea, but also very good.
As for a possible trade deal between Canada and the U.S., Prime Minister Mark Carney and President Trump have agreed to pursue a deal within the next 30 days. After their meeting yesterday, Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc said talks are gaining steam and the two sides will meet again before the end of the week. Team Canada announced the names of the first 6 players on the men's Olympic hockey team for next year's games in Italy. No surprise, superstar Connor McDavid is on the list and will be making his Olympic debut. 2-time gold medalist Sidney Crosby will also be on the roster, along with 4 others from Canada's Four Nations team: Sam Reinhart, Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, and Braden Point. This will be the first time in 12 years that NHL players will compete in the Olympics. On a hot day, a can of pop can provide a lot of refreshment, and depending on what happens next, it can also provide a wheelchair. Monday afternoon, 14-year-old Layla received this new high-tech chair. It's the 69th donated by Tabs for Wheelchairs since the program began 27 years ago. As you can imagine, it takes a lot of small tabs to get enough money to buy a new wheelchair. But Tabs for Wheelchairs now has 188 schools, 306 companies and groups, plus hundreds of individuals around the city and province saving tabs for them.
There are approximately 360 bags here. There's another 100 that were taken in Steinbach. So we've got about 460, and that mounted to 23 million tabs, approximately. You can never, right? So that's how many, and so that's super. It's the most we've ever done in 27 years.
As more schools and businesses come on board, the organization says they can help more people. Here's a look now at what's happening on the Norwood Bridge. Things are moving really well to start off this Tuesday morning. If you see any problems on the streets, please let us know. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail. We are talking about the sport of cheer. Vision Cheer Club is one of those where there are a lot of kids involved with this sport. Tell us more, Ainsley. Good morning.
Well, a lot. I mean, heck, Rochelle, so many showed up today as early as 5:15 this morning, warming up for us. What a pleasure it is. 252 athletes with Vision Cheer, all between the ages of 2 and 35. Of course, it's building essential skills like balance and flexibility, but it's also quite competitive as well. This year, the World Cheerleading Championships, they've placed 6th. So wow, putting Manitoba on the map for cheer and growing the sport. Look at this. Look at this athleticism. So we're going to be learning about the lifts. We're also going to be learning about the practice of tumbling, which is the stuff that happens on the ground, similar to gymnastics. So lots of athleticism. We're going to be telling you about an open house. So if your child is watching thinking, I think that I'd be pretty good at this, we've got an opportunity for you. And later on in the show, I can't make any guarantees that it's going to be done with grace, but I'm going to try some of the moves. I'll give you a hint. It won't be at the top. It won't be at the top.
Oh, you will be great. I am sure of it. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go to the rooftop now, Terry, to a workout buddy that makes training fun. Check this out. Who needs to go to the gym when you have an active dog? Marv keeps his owner motivated while she works out. From triceps to legs to biceps. They call this the full body Frenchie burn. Look at that guy.
Oh my goodness.
All that extra weight helps build bigger muscles.
That's one of those like tough love trainers. He's yanking around.
Keeping her on her game.
Oh, I'm feeling the
goodness.
shoulder pain from that.
Oh, just watching that dog. How's it feeling out there, Terry?
Beautiful. There's just the slightest bit of a breeze out here this morning that might get stronger into the afternoon. There is also a few extra clouds, not necessarily as I look off to the west. It's much clearer. Oh, look who's on our rooftop this morning. Thank you, Director Kim. I was busy looking at the sky. Hello. Woo, woo. Who are you? How cute is that? Oh, we welcome the visitors. Always good entertainment. But yeah, it does look like we've got a few extra clouds this morning, and they're going to be clearing on out. We didn't get much rain yesterday. I had my rain gauge all ready, expecting to see some. I did water my plants on my own in advance just in case, and good thing, because absolutely nothing registered. There was a little bit of shower activity. I remember noticing that on my rooftop patio back home, but like a few drops here or there. I watered my own plants back home as well. So glad I gave them the drink. Northern Manitoba will likely see some showers passing through today, but here in the south it's likely to remain dry, and with these clouds clearing out, pretty sunny as well, and pretty warm mid-20 temperatures are expected. Now, we do have another chance of some precipitation rolling through for tomorrow into the afternoon. Showers, possible thunderstorms. Still with the heat, we're talking mid to high 20 temperatures right throughout the rest of this week and into the coming weekend. We're taking a break right now. We'll be back with more CTV Morning Live.
CTV Morning Live weather brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialist.
Good morning. Coming up to 6:15, the public inquiry into the scandal-plagued Winnipeg Police Service headquarters is moving forward. The project, which saw the city purchase and retrofit the former Canada Post building on Graham Avenue, went tens of millions of dollars over budget. A civil court judge ruled former city CAO Phil Schiegel accepted a bribe from a contractor involved in the project. An inquiry into what happened is planned for winter and spring of next year, but first the commissioner has to decide who can take part in the process. Individuals and groups have to apply to be granted standing to participate before Friday, August the 8th. Then a hearing will be held on Wednesday, September 10th to decide. A 23-year-old man is facing charges after police say 2 transit supervisors were assaulted aboard a city bus. The incident happened late Saturday afternoon near 4th Street and Graham Avenue downtown. The 2 supervisors boarded the bus to check on a man who was asleep. However, when he woke up, police say he became violent and allegedly attacked the pair. Officers arrived while the struggle was still going on and took him into custody. The 2 supervisors received minor injuries but didn't need medical treatment. Imagine buying a car from a dealership only to find out that it's stolen. It's happening with some unsuspecting buyers who are eventually left without a car and on the hook for payments. W5's John Woodward digs into the tactics thieves are using and how widespread it's become.
Cars stolen off driveways across the country.
There's a huge problem.
More than $1 billion a year, some of them sold overseas.
There you go.
But others end up on Canadian roads disguised and resold.
Money that's going to organized criminals and car thieves.
Correct. Some of that money spent on bribes to government agencies.
Are you a car thief, sir?
This was a fake on so many levels.
This 2019 Porsche Cayenne was the dream vehicle for a family member of Frank Rizko when they bought it in 2023.
They bought it from a dealership, by the way, so that assumingly it's safer and more legit.
But only a few months later, parked at this mall north of Toronto, the car disappeared. One of almost 60,000 stolen that year as a wave of auto thefts continues to sweep through Canada. Frank's family member made an insurance claim with TD Insurance, but that's where things got strange.
A few weeks go by, no answer. That drags into a couple months, and then finally TD rejects the claim altogether.
In a letter, TD Insurance told them it had found a problem with the vehicle identification number, or VIN, a number that is supposed to uniquely identify the car, saying, "Our investigation has concluded that the VIN is fictitious and registered to another vehicle. Therefore, there will be no coverage for this loss."
What did that mean, fictitious VIN?
Exactly what I thought when I heard that.
You can usually find the VIN here, behind the windshield on the driver's side. It's supposed to be one number, one car. And if it's not, there could be a problem. Those numbers are tracked closely by Carfax and its president, Sean Fording.
Yeah, so Carfax is a Canadian company.
He says they have seen a huge increase in what is known as revinning.
A revin is taking the 17-digit character of a vehicle identification number and applying that to, in most cases, a stolen vehicle.
So this is about disguising vehicles that are stolen as legitimate cars.
That's right.
Fording says his company's data shows there are some 140,000 possibly disguised stolen cars on the road right now. We asked Fording to take a look at the Carfax report for Rizco's car.
Something doesn't add up about the history of this vehicle.
Fording points out its records show the car's color changed from gray to white, and its mileage actually dropped from around 60,000 to just under 30,000.
They would have to drive backwards across the country a number of times to make that make sense.
Yeah, that's right. If there's ever a vehicle that looks like it's a fraudulent VIN or a clone VIN, this one meets the mark.
The truth is, this report refers to two cars sharing the same VIN, one in Ontario, the other in Alberta. We tracked the Alberta car to this Porsche dealership in Calgary. They believe their car is legit. That suggests it was Rizco's car that was the stolen one. Rizco's family couldn't have known all that. At the time of purchase, their Carfax appeared clean.
How does all this make you feel?
Irritated, disappointed. It's going to be 100,000 plus roughly around 40,000 in interest.
Yeah.
My family members have to pay this for the next 6 years, and they're thinking of getting a second mortgage to pay for this. Like, it's just insane.
His family owes all this money for a stolen car that was stolen again. And our investigation showed his car wasn't the only one tied to one Toronto dealership.
A new study adds to the growing body of evidence showing how much of a role fathers play in helping children develop. The study was published in the journal JAMA Pediatrics. It found fathers' mental distress is slightly associated with subpar child development, including cognitive, social-emotional language, and physical development. Researchers defined mental distress as depression, anxiety, or stress. The findings were especially true in the perinatal period, which spans conception to 2 years postpartum. Here's a look now what's happening on McPhillips Street. Looks like things are moving well to start off this Tuesday morning. If you see any problems out on the streets, though, please let us know.
CTV Morning Live Traffic brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. No appointment needed.
Looking now through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. And you can see those few extra clouds hanging around, especially as we're looking off to the east, as we were with that particular view. But soon those clouds will continue to push further to the east, clearing them behind it. And we're going to see a return to the sunshine. We briefly saw some shower activity yesterday. It really didn't amount to too much. Northern Manitoba was in the clear yesterday, but today it's northern Manitoba that will likely see its round with the rain. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, 11 degrees is a seasonal low. We're sitting at 12, just barely above seasonal. Most of us are. In fact, the only places coming in right at 11, Brandon, Roblin, Swan River. Everybody else is at least a degree or 3 above that this morning. Even northern Manitoba is seeing double digits right up along this western border and even some parts of the northeast. And then there's Thompson, Churchill, 8 degrees, but high single digits is a milder start for you as well. Here's that activity that I was talking about that will continue to track further to the east, moving on into northwestern Ontario as it clears out here through southern Manitoba. For northern Manitoba, there will be probably a bit of precipitation, which we will welcome once again. 17 degrees expected as it continues to clear through the day today. We'll be getting up to a high of 25 this afternoon, but that breeze will be increasing, at times gusting to about 40 kilometers per hour out of the north. Now, today, 25 degrees with increasing amounts of sunshine, but another round of rain is likely to be moving through tomorrow. Showers, maybe even some thunderstorms, and then back to the sunshine again. You can see the temperatures mid to even some high 20s as we're rolling on into the coming weekend. And this is Gator, who's looking a little bit pensive. Pat, when she took the picture, said that was maybe spotting a beaver off in the distance. You can see his eyes just zeroed in on that. Thank you for the photo. Keep them coming, please, to winnipegweather@ctv.ca. We're taking a break. We'll be back soon.
CTV Morning Live School Day Forecast is brought to you by Rainbow Stage, your season to sing.
Good morning. In a sometimes turbulent and fractured world, younger generations can often serve as a kind of compass, showing us the path for a better future. As world leaders debate the biggest issues of our day in Alberta, a group of students has also found a unique way of adding their voices to the conversation.
In a world where the grown-ups make the most important decisions, the students at Banff Elementary School are not letting their ages get in the way of being heard.
Do you think adults make the world complicated sometimes?
Yes.
What would you tell them?
To stop focusing on their greed and start hearing the stuff that we need.
They come from families that represent 52 different countries. And going to school surrounded by such spectacular natural beauty gives them a unique focus on the challenges impacting them not only locally.
We want a cleaner air, we want less climate change, and we want less forest fires.
But also globally.
I think bigger countries should kind of donate to smaller countries or send food and money to help them out.
We are dreamers. So when a community outreach team from the G7 summit got in touch with the school to get them involved, the school knew it would be a great fit. They came up with the idea of writing a song and brought on Banff's poet laureate, Heather Jean Jordan, who talked with them about the big themes.
I had taken all the words that came again and again and put them on a board. And so then all the students came up with rhymes and lines that could be in the song.
Together, they brainstormed the lyrics, composed the music, and turned it into this. A song called A Single Seed. The seed for the idea itself was planted a few weeks before Easter, and staff and students knew they had to work quickly, straight to work as soon as the kids got back.
We came back from break on the Monday. It started on the Monday. They had it written by the Wednesday. They learned it on the Thursday. We practiced it on the Friday. We recorded it on the Monday.
The song and this recording, what they are now calling their anthem to the world.
I think our students have this opportunity to see in real life the kinds of impact that some of these decisions that are being made at the global level, how they impact locally here in Banff.
Their reminder to the leaders of the richest countries that what they do or don't do is a benefit or a burden their generation will ultimately carry.
Good job. Okay, take a bow, everyone.
Great job!
Very nice.
All right, we're going to learn more about Vision Cheer Company. Stay with us.
CTV Morning Live is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
Beautiful start to your morning. We do have a few extra clouds hanging around, and that humidity, you're going to notice that too, sitting pretty high this morning. 12 degrees though, with west winds 8 kilometers per hour. That pressure is falling, and that humidity sitting up there at 96%. I'll show you the satellite image, and you'll see why we've got these thunderstorms that are passing through in areas surrounding Winnipeg. I don't think that Winnipeg's necessarily going to be getting clipped. You can see it's just to the north and just to the south of us, and already tracking further to the east. As it continues on, we'll see increasing amounts of sunshine with the sky clearing out behind that system. 25 degrees. It will be a warm one today, and even slightly above seasonal. 24 degrees is normal for this time of year. That breeze will be getting a little bit stronger, shifting out of the north, and at times this afternoon it could be gusting to about 40 kilometers per hour. But at 25 degrees, you'll be thankful for that bit of a breeze. Now, 14 degrees is where we're going to fall to overnight with very clear conditions. Those northwest winds, which will get stronger this afternoon, will taper off and ease in the overnight hours. 14 is slightly above the seasonal low of 11, and tomorrow 26 degrees. So still on the warmer side, but there is a chance of showers, maybe even thunderstorms tomorrow, and those winds picking back up again, and at times gusting to 40 clicks. From there, it will be clearing out again as we're rolling on into the weekend. These mid to even high 20 temperatures will be sticking around. It will be cooling down slightly with some showers passing through Sunday or thunderstorms, and then even cooler yet as we're looking ahead to next week.
Thank you, Terry. Mounties in Steinbach had a busy weekend dealing with a spike in incidents during the community's Summer in the City festival. In total, RCMP charged 35 people with offenses including speeding, dangerous driving, impaired driving, break and enter, and possession of a weapon. That includes 31 provincial offense notices that were handed out for lesser offenses such as violating window tint regulations and squealing tires. However, some were more serious. Some of the incidents include a brawl at the fairgrounds during which a 20-year-old man allegedly pulled a knife. A woman was struck by a vehicle in a parking lot on Main Street, and a 54-year-old man was beaten with a baton and shot with a BB gun. No arrests have been made in that case. Crown prosecutors have stayed child sex charges against the chief of a Manitoba First Nation. The provincial court says charges of sexual assault, sexual interference, and possessing and making child pornography were stayed Friday against Christopher Travers. Travers was the leader of Lake St. Martin First Nation when he was arrested last April. He pleaded not guilty and has maintained his innocence during his trial, which began in March. In an email, the Crown's office tells CTV that based on new information presented at the trial, it was determined it was no longer appropriate to proceed with the case. A pregnant woman will have to pay thousands of dollars to have her baby here in Manitoba after being denied health coverage. She's being denied because she's still waiting for her permanent residence to be approved. CTV News first reported on this situation back in February, and now the baby's due date is less than 2 weeks away. CTV's Danton Unger reports.
This is actually our daughter.
Nika and Andrew Worth are expecting their first child, a baby girl, at the end of the month.
We're about to be parents soon.
The couple met last year while Nika was visiting Canada from the Philippines. They fell in love and got married in September. Shortly after, they found out their little family was about to grow. But the problem is Nika is here on an extended visitor visa until her permanent residence is approved. And according to the province, that means she's not eligible for health coverage, despite the fact she's married to a Manitoba resident and the child she's carrying will be a Canadian citizen.
We are at the last stretch. I'm 9 months pregnant, and no matter what, we will be taken care of. But it's just that we want to fight for what's fair.
Now here's the catch. According to the province, the spouse of a work permit holder would be covered even if that spouse only has a visitor record, while the spouse of a Canadian citizen would not. The couple took their case to the Manitoba Health Appeal Board, but it was dismissed, with the board saying, unfortunately, the specific wording found within the act does not allow for health benefits to be extended to the spouse until they're determined to be a resident. All this means the cost of Nika's pregnancy is coming out of pocket.
So far, we've spent like $5,000 outside the hospital.
As for the actual delivery, a single night in hospital will cost Nika nearly $6,000. And if there's any complications, a night in the ICU would cost them $16,000. Altogether, in order to bring their baby home, Nika and Andrew are expecting to pay more than $20,000.
We would just have to pay it off like you pay off a car. You know, some people take on debt if they need a new car or something. We're going to have to take on debt to have a child in Canada, which seems almost ludicrous.
Danton Unger, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Andrew and Nika have taken out a line of credit and launched a GoFundMe to try and raise money before the baby arrives in less than 2 weeks. The one silver lining, the couple says they have confirmed the baby will be covered by Manitoba Health. We reached out to the health minister for comment. A spokesperson from Cabinet Communications responded by email saying Manitoba provides insurance based on residency status, which is determined by the federal government. They say if the federal government determines you are a resident, then you will be covered. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is likely to face a leadership review vote early next year. The review would be at the full Conservative Party of Canada convention in Calgary. The exact dates of the convention haven't been confirmed yet. The Conservatives picked up 22 seats in the last election and won more than 8 million votes across Canada. But as we know, Poilievre lost his own seat. Poilievre will run in a by-election in the Alberta riding of Battle River Crowfoot. That by-election is likely to be held sometime this summer. Nilo to the rescue. Nilo, the 2-year-old standard poodle, is about to join an elite life-saving force. He's training with other Labradors and Newfoundlanders to be part of beach rescue squads in Spain. Usually poodles aren't part of these teams, but historically they've been used for water rescue and hunting retrieval in lakes. Very neat. All right, here's a look at what's happening outside of Portage at Polo Park. Things are picking up over here, but overall, no issues to tell you about. If you see any problems on the streets, please let us know. And here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.36. The provincial average is lower at $1.27. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.26. The lowest price in the city is $1.19. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
Price at the Pump brought to you by kidneycard.ca. Get a free tow and a tax receipt for value of your car.
Let's go back now to Vision Cheer, where Ainsley McPhail is live this morning. Good morning, Ainsley. Tell us more on what's going on there.
Well, I was just about to say it's more of a show and tell today, Rochelle, because we've got phenomenal athletes here to tell us and show us how it's all done here at Vision Cheer. Nick Verberg joins us, and he's going to explain just what cheer is. I know that we're really simplifying it. You guys are the experts, but explain to our audience, you know, like we're five.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, one of the analogies that people get is like, is it like Bring It On? And it's close. Like, so you're going to see the what we call stunting. So those are the building skills, where you're lifting people up in the air. Tumbling, which people are familiar with from gymnastics, but we also work in jumps and dance. And then a big part of the score is actually the performance element too, which is just choreography, kind of how you match the routines to music as well.
And you're really breaking it down from fundamentals. You've got 2-year-olds here. You've got 35-year-olds here. So how does it all start for those looking to begin?
Yeah, so like any beginner sport, we do start at the very basics of movement. So you're going to see kind of the younger ones here doing what we would call level 1. So these are skills that are happening at prep level or waist level. So they'll even be able to do these kind of skills with as many as 3 or 4 people holding them up in the air. We are doing kind of advanced level 1, having them up in the air doing body positions, showing off their flexibility. But yeah, we kind of start just with the basics of movement, like having a strong foundation, holding a lunge, knowing how to carry your weight and someone else's weight, and then also the basics of like teamwork and trust and getting along with each other and all those essentials of sport too. So yeah, these guys look great. These are, we do have some level 1 athletes here, all the way up to some level 3 and 4 athletes here. But these are some of the skills that you would learn. Even actually, believe it or not, we'd have athletes as young as 5 doing skills like that. With some
I do believe it. I do believe it. Like they're so skillful. Okay, when we talk about the older or the more advanced group, you've taught them the fundamentals now. We're going to get a little bit more intricate.
Sure.
What does that look like? How do you teach them? Because they have the basics.
Yeah, so pretty much the way that we get through the sport is the higher the level goes, the higher you hold your flyer, and the more twists and spins that you add. So kind of still at level 1, we would go to what's called the double base or prep. So if they hop up into that level, so this is when you start holding your flyer at chest level, and they can actually do a cradle from here. So go ahead, call it Riley. And this is still actually very beginning when you start throwing people, like catching them like that. You can see that the trust and the that teamwork and learning how to trust your team develops quite early, and then as you get up into a higher level, they just go higher and higher into the air. So you guys just want to throw a basket? Because I think we're probably getting close to 3 minutes here.
We've got 10 seconds left,
yeah.
guys. 10 seconds, and this is how we're going to finish. Trust on 3. Oh, awesome, you guys. Okay, we'll see you in the 7 o'clock hour.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. That is so wild what they can do, Terry.
Yeah, speaking of wild, I just got swooped on by a couple of pigeons. That was wild. It's a beautiful start to your morning, though. I can see them cleaning the patio next door, getting ready probably for a busy day. It will be great patio weather here in southern Manitoba. Not everybody is going to get the patio weather today, but we'll probably get what we need through parts of northern Manitoba, and that means more rain exactly where it's needed. 12 degrees right now, sun is shining, it's looking good. Just a few extra clouds as I glance off to the east, but even those will be clearing as the day goes on. The wind's on the lighter side out of the west, just 8 kilometers per hour right now. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 96%. Already as I look off to the west, I can see clear and bright blue sky, and even directly above me as well. Those last of the heavier clouds are just off to the east, and they'll continue to track further east with the thunderstorms moving into parts of northwestern Ontario. You could be seeing some of that activity later today, as too will much of northern Manitoba be dealing with showers or possibly some thunderstorms. We're going to be seeing more of that activity again tomorrow, but today here in the south is going to remain on the drier side, just a little bit of a breeze increasing as these temperatures start to soar. Taking a break right now. We'll be back with more CTV Morning Live.
CTV Morning Live weather brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Same-day oil and tire changes.
Looking at early markets, it's a sluggish start to the trading day on Wall Street. Dow futures are down 253 points. NASDAQ futures are lower too, off by 130. S&P futures are also in the red, down 34 points. The Canadian dollar is seeing a slight dip this morning. Overseas, the Hang Seng dropped 80 points, and Japan's Nikkei is trading higher at 225. Good morning, it is 6:45. Prime Minister Mark Carney's One Canadian Economy Act is being pushed through the House of Commons this week. If passed, Bill C-5 would grant Ottawa sweeping powers on major infrastructure projects of national interest, and that's not sitting well with some Indigenous leaders. CTV's Daniel Homerson explains.
The Prime Minister's plan for One Canadian Economy is drawing criticism from some Indigenous leaders.
When we talk about One Canadian Economy, First Nations people need to be at the table. We are the first peoples of this land. You need to respect that role and that responsibility that we have to the land.
Bill C-5 aims to reduce interprovincial trade barriers, ease labor mobility, and speed up major infrastructure projects in response to Canada's ongoing trade dispute with the United States. The bill is being pushed through Parliament this week, and leaders like Grand Chief Kyra Wilson of the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs are concerned it's happening without meaningful consultation.
When we talk about reconciliation, economic reconciliation, when you talk about, this partnership, nation to nation, you need to come and talk to First Nations leadership.
If Bill C-5 passes, the feds could fast-track approval for major projects like a mine or transportation hub by labeling them as being of national interest. Wilson and others warn these projects could infringe on Indigenous rights and environmental protections.
First Nations leadership are not necessarily against development. There are many projects that leadership may want to be a part of, but that conversation needs to happen.
Other leaders like Manitoba Métis Federation President David Chartrand aren't opposed to Bill C-5.
We are under threat right now. So our economic engines are being threatened. Our future as a country is being threatened. So there's not a doubt you will see the Métis River supporting Bill 5.
However, Chartrand says that support can't come at the expense of Métis sovereignty. Daniel Homerson, CTV News, Winnipeg.
U.S. President Donald Trump says he's hoping for something better than a ceasefire in the ongoing conflict between Iran and Israel after making an anonymous post on social media telling people living in Tehran to leave the city. You're looking at total gridlock moving westward from Tehran in a social media video posted yesterday. Tehran is home to nearly 10 million people. Trump, when pressed by reporters on what's better than a ceasefire, said a real end, not a ceasefire, an end. On Monday afternoon, Trump also posted on social media saying, quote, Iran should have signed the deal. I told them to sign. What a shame and waste of human life. Simply stated, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. Meanwhile, Iran and Israel are exchanging fire for a fifth day. The IDF saying Iran has launched a new wave of missiles. Iranian media is reporting explosions and heavy air defense fire overnight as well. Leaders at the G7 summit table yesterday agreed to urge Israel and Iran to de-escalate hostilities, but stopped short of calling for a ceasefire.
We're gathering at one of those turning points in history. I think we all recognize that turning point where the world looks to this table for leadership.
A joint statement from G7 leaders said Israel has the right to defend itself while calling Iran a source of regional instability. The mother of a 3-year-old girl who has been missing since Sunday near Montreal has been arrested and charged with child abandonment. Crews are still searching for the child.
It's not easy. Everybody, we pray for being able to find her quickly.
Claire Bell was last seen Sunday morning at her home in La Salle. She wasn't reported missing until Sunday afternoon by her mother in Coteau-du-Lac, which is almost an hour away. Investigators say they still have questions about the mother's state of health. The search will resume today. A 57-year-old man has been charged with the murder of a Minnesota politician and her husband and the attempted murder of another lawmaker as chilling details emerge about the shooting over the weekend.
Belter saw the officers get out of the car. He drew his weapon and began firing. He rushed into the house through the front door, firing into it.
Minutes later, Vance Bolter allegedly killed State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband and fled the scene. On the same night, authorities say he also shot and injured another state lawmaker and his wife and went to the homes of 2 other elected officials armed and posing as a police officer with the intention of killing them. The suspect also had names of more than 45 elected officials in notes found in his car. Here's a look at what's going on outside at Confusion Corner. It looks like things are picking up already here in this area, but overall moving well with no issues to tell you about at this point. If you see any problems out there, please let us know.
Yeah, it's going to be a bright one today as the last of these clouds clear on out. It's 12 degrees right now with west winds 8 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 96%. We just had those few extra clouds hanging around where the precipitation was moving, and you can see that too is already starting to run out of steam as it continues to track further to the east. Now, northern Manitoba, you could be in for a round of precipitation, which again we will welcome. You didn't get anything yesterday. Anything that moved through southern Manitoba certainly did help with the air quality once again, as there are no warnings or even advisories throughout the province today. But many places through northern Manitoba will today then get the showers or maybe thunderstorms. That's not an ideal situation given how dry it is, but we will welcome the rain certainly. And these low 20 temperatures are going to go along with that precipitation right through northwestern Manitoba as well. Moving further into the south, we're seeing that return to the clearer sky and the sunshine that's going to be sticking around throughout the day today. Mid-20 temperatures, 24 degrees, by the way, would be a normal daytime high here in southern Manitoba, and we'll be just beyond it, only by a degree, with the clouds continuously clearing, as I mentioned. And then further to the east, there is still that chance that northwestern Ontario will deal with that precipitation as it continues to move across that eastern border. So mid-20s, but that chance of showers, maybe even some thunderstorms, which we could see again for tomorrow. The possibility is there, especially into the afternoon. Back to the sunshine, you can see these temperatures aren't going anywhere. In fact, it might even just continue to heat up as we're rolling on into the coming weekend. But that's how we're kicking off the weekend. We could be wrapping it up with yet another round of rain and some cooler temperatures as we're heading on into the start of next week.
Thank you, Terry. Scientists are looking for better ways to limit damage from wildfires. They're trying to develop new technology using AI to predict where fires will take place so that they can be prevented. CTV's Connor Hogue has more.
Sudden, destructive, out-of-control wildfires. Large-scale events that destroy homes, landmarks, and in some cases, parts of entire cities have become a part of spring and summer in Alberta over the past decade. That's pushing a number of Canadian companies to develop ways to prevent the kinds of wildfires seen in Fort McMurray in 2016 and Jasper National Park last year.
A combination of statistical modeling, probabilistic modeling, and physical modeling to capture the fire behavior.
Some use drone mapping. Others, like AI6, use complicated computer systems. Millions of simulations measure minute data, things like temperature, rain levels, wind patterns, and dryness. Jill Roberti with AI6 says software sifts through the results, pinpointing where a wildfire could start and spread.
To understand what is the probability of a fire occurring today and in 10, 20, 50 years according to different climate change scenarios. There might be cases where mitigation measure might be taken where, for example, preventive burns or fuel thinning.
Swan Hills, Grand Cache, and Jasper facing a higher probability of risk. The technology is new, but Roberti says it's already in use, identifying potential hotspots to municipalities and insurance companies.
People taking preventive measure once they see their community on the map.
He says using this kind of preventative technology could also benefit people beyond the Canadian border.
There's fire all across the world. Because again, temperature is getting hotter everywhere, right? I like the idea of helping people, and this is like, I think, a good way to do it because it applies very complicated scientific concept to help people.
Applying science to help society. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Many people enjoy reality TV, including a couple of Winnipeggers, but they aren't watching Celebrity Housewives. Their fascination is with a unique type of bird. And as CTV's Devin McKendrick shows you now, they've been watching this show for years.
To get it wrong, streaks and dots.
A Winnipeg couple have been doing their part to protect North America's smallest falcon. Kim Bissot and her husband have set up a bird box on their property with a camera inside to monitor the American kestrel.
The kestrel is such a feisty little character that we just fell in love with them when they moved into our neighborhood.
They've been live streaming the kestrel families since 2014 and working with local organizations to collect data on the raptor species.
They're losing their habitat for many different reasons, and so we have put up nest boxes to try to draw them into our area.
As part of their data collecting process, each year new hatchlings in the nest get banded just before they're ready to fly off on their own. The little metal band has a unique number that gets registered and allows researchers across the Americas to see where the bird has been.
That's allowed us to track this over time, so multiple generations, multiple species.
Courtney Schubert with the Assiniboine Park Conservancy says the information from banding not only helps people learn more about the birds, but also what is happening with the global climate.
With things like climate change, one of the things that we're learning from these bands is actually kind of how migration has changed over time.
Bissot and her husband banded 4 new birds this year, bringing their total to 45. The new birds are expected to leave the nest any day and start their own journey out into the world.
We had 2 females and 2 males this year, so that's always good for the population. Keep the species going.
Devin McKendrick, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Winnipeg Sea Bears season continues, and we want you to be a part of the action. The Sea Bears will hit the court against the Scarborough Shooting Stars on June 27th. So if you want to be in the stands, we've got the contest for you. CTV Morning Live is giving away a family pack of 4 tickets to give away to the game. Head over to our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and hit our contest page for all the entry details. Don't miss your shot. Now to a workout buddy that makes training fun. Who needs to go to the gym when you have an active dog? Marv keeps his owner motivated while she works out from triceps to legs to biceps. They call this the full body Frenchie burn. What a helpful little guy. All right, we're going to take a break here. It's a gorgeous start to your Tuesday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Good morning. It is Tuesday, June 17th. It is 7 a.m. Thank you so much for being with us here on CTV Morning Live. Now, just sitting in my backyard the other day, there was honeybees all over the place. They serve a very important role when it comes to pollination. And of course, they gather beautiful pollen to make honey. And so if you want to learn more about the honeybees, their important role in our ecosystem, there's a local beekeeping company that not only will teach you more about the bees, but they'll also give you tours. We're going to tell you more about that. But first, your headlines. Wildfire evacuees heading home. Buses roll out as thousands return to their communities. Plus, fraud ring exposed in Ontario. Cops say tow truck operators helped stage crashes in major insurance scam. And hope takes flight in Rio. Could floating islands be the key to bringing back wildlife?
All right, 12 degrees to kick off your Tuesday morning with some sun shining over the city, making it glow beautifully. Breeze is light. It's just 8 kilometers out of the west. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 96%. Yeah, you noticed that humidity this morning. Here's some good news, though. Look at our air quality map right now, at least for Manitoba. Manitoba completely in the clear. There are still the warnings and statements, that's the yellow, issued through parts of northwestern Ontario. But yesterday, this was including parts of east central Manitoba, and that has improved enough to have Environment Canada drop the warning or lift it. Now, we're likely to see a little bit of precipitation moving through parts of northern Manitoba today where it is needed the most and likely will be falling. Now, what we are seeing currently is a little bit of precipitation that's been moving through parts of southeastern Manitoba, but that is tracking off to the east. So we're going to see that clearing out and this moving in. There is the possibility of some thunderstorms in there, and I know lightning is not going to be an ideal situation given how dry it is, but rain we can certainly use, and we will welcome all of that moving through the northern stretch of the province. Central and southern Manitoba. For the most part, we'll see clearing conditions through the day today. But by tomorrow, we could be getting clipped with another round of precipitation. And there you can see central and southern Manitoba for Wednesday, seeing some showers or maybe some thunderstorms passing through. Temperature-wise, we're looking at some low to mid-20s, no matter where you are in the province. Low 20s across northern Manitoba, mid-20s here in the south, and we're going to stay there, maybe even at times pushing up into the high 20s as we're looking ahead to the weekend. And Rochelle, you won't believe our weather art today. You're talking about the bees, and somebody's showcasing them here too, and their caption was "Save the Bees." I love that. So thank you to Joaquin for the art today, and take a picture of your art. Send it to us, please. winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
That's lovely. Thank you, Terry. There's new hope for wildfire evacuees. Over the weekend, hundreds were given the green light to return to their communities. And now highways to Cross Lake have reopened and thousands are on their way home. Here's CTV's Jeff Keel.
Buses fill a section of this Winnipeg hotel parking lot as evacuees from Pimicikamat Cree Nation, also known as Cross Lake, pack up and get ready to head to the airport, going home for the first time since wildfires forced them out in late May.
It feels good. Don't really like the hotel life though. It's been moving around a lot lately. Can't wait to go back home to my bed.
It's not just his bed Antoine Kestrel is looking forward to seeing. Some family dogs are with a shelter organization.
I have to try to contact them to send my dog and my brother's dog back to Cross Lake.
As it's deemed safe to do so, more people are being allowed to return to their communities.
And I'm happy to let folks know that some people have returned home, and more Manitobans will be heading home today and in the coming days and weeks.
With a population of around 7,000 in Cross Lake, and many of them scattered across Manitoba and even in Ontario, it will take some time for everyone to make it back.
We had about 10 chartered flights that are ready to take our people home as well.
Still, Chief David Monius says there was a lot of relief.
There was a lot of laughter, a lot of smiles, and a lot of hugs, and a lot of handshakes, and seeing the people, they're just excited to go home. Winnipeg's great, but home is better.
There are still thousands not yet able to go home, like those from Flin Flon, but there are signs that could change. The city says workers at critical businesses are re-entering to clean and restock shelves, and the mayor says there are efforts to get hospital staff back in place too.
I think there's a lot of hope, and we can seriously think about going back, but they're just not ready yet.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
25 communities are still evacuated. The province says there are evacuees still sleeping on cots in congregate shelters. That includes 40 people in Winnipeg and 150 in Thompson. Wildfire evacuees have been out of their homes for weeks now. This also means they've been away from their doctors and other medical supports. That's why Manitoba Blue Cross is offering to help. The insurance company is offering evacuees free counseling sessions and access to virtual health care services. If any wildfire evacuees need mental health support, they can get up to 3 in-person or virtual counseling sessions with Blue Cross's Employee Assistance Program. They can also use the company's virtual go-to-doctor team for some medical issues such as infections, rashes, and allergies. Blue Cross says it will also help evacuees find additional supports if needed. The public inquiry into the scandal-plagued Winnipeg Police Service headquarters is moving forward. The project, which saw the city purchase and retrofit the former Canada Post building on Graham Avenue, went tens of millions of dollars over budget. A civil court judge ruled former city CAO Phil Schiegel accepted a bribe from a contractor involved in the project. An inquiry into what happened is planned for winter and spring of next year. But first, the commissioner has to decide who can take part in the process. Individuals and groups have to apply to be granted standing to participate before Friday, August 8th. Then a hearing will be held on Wednesday, September 10th to decide. RCMP say there were no serious injuries in a multi-vehicle collision Monday night on the West Perimeter Highway's Portage Avenue overpass. Mounties and emergency responders were called shortly before 5 p.m. to an incident in the southbound lanes. This tied up traffic for roughly an hour. The scene was cleared by 6 p.m. RCMP were unable to say how many vehicles were involved. Peel Police in Ontario say they've broken up a violent criminal organization with links to the tow truck industry in the Toronto area.
Threats escalated into a variety of different offenses, including drive-by shootings, arsons, a variety of acts of violence that spread fear and insecurity
18 people are facing 97 charges ranging from gun offenses to extortion. Police say the group is also responsible for staging dozens of crashes on roads in and around the city in an insurance fraud operation. It's estimated the insurance fraud claims were more than $1 million. Investigators also say of the 18 people arrested, more than half were on judicial release orders. Researchers have uncovered a simple way to reduce your risk of chronic back pain. According to a new study, walking for 100 minutes a day may keep you from being affected by disability later. More than 11,000 participants wore sensors for 7 days that tracked their walking patterns. The team followed up with the group in 2021 and 2023, then asked if they experienced lower back pain. The results suggest walking reduced pain by 23%. The study was published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Sometimes a little piece of home goes a long way. Conservationists in Brazil have built 2 artificial islands at a lagoon in Rio. The islands are covered with native vegetation aimed at attracting birds that have left the local ecosystem. The islands are the latest additions to a 30-year conservation project protecting Rio's shorelines. Results have been promising, with some birds already returning. Here's a look at what's happening on Keniston Boulevard. It looks like things are moving well over here. No issues to tell you about, no stalls or crashes at this point. If you do see any problems out on the streets, though, please let us know.
Canada's benchmark stock index, the S&P TSX Composite Index, rose by 0.25 percentage point yesterday and will begin today's trading day at 26,568 points. In the U.S., meanwhile, stocks rose sharply yesterday, but futures contracts on the 3 main U.S. stock indices were down this morning. A prominent Wall Street strategist says the dramatic rally in the price of gold is over. Max Layton at Citigroup predicts the price of gold will drop to between $2,500 and $2,700 US dollars per ounce by the middle of next year. This morning, gold was trading at $3,415 per ounce, and it has increased by 70% over the past 2 years. Finally, the Canadian dollar was priced at 73.7 cents US this morning. That's its highest level versus the US dollar since early October of last year. From the BNN Bloomberg Newsroom in Toronto, I'm Paul Bagnall.
Let's go back now to Vision Cheer Company with our Ainsley McPhail this morning. Good morning, Ainsley.
Rochelle, I'm a little nervous for this one. Not to speak, as you know, I do that, quite eloquently every single morning for you folks. But I'm going to be lifting my new friend Vera, who's going to help me out with this lift. Okay, let's start, ladies. We did practice several times. Got to get our core strength in there, around, hitting up the leg just nicely. And there you have it, folks. I told you I'd be doing this, but more as a pillar, not as the one we're lifting up. Coming up at 8:38. Who knows? Keep watching the show. Vision Cheer. Let's drop her down. Thank you so much, Vera. I was like, what if I drop her? They're like, no, she'll be fine. We got it. We got it. 250 plus athletes, 6th in the world as per the World Cheerleading Championships, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and Winnipeg Sea Bears have a partnership with them as well. So we're hitting all levels, as young as 2 years old all the way up to 35. Coming up at 7:27, we're going to be learning how they tumble. We're going to be learning the mechanics of what you just did right now. They also have an open house coming up. So if you want to be like me, a sturdy pillar, or I don't even know the name of it.
Flyer.
Flyer. If you want to be a flyer like me, stay tuned.
Ainsley, thank you, and say hi to Vera. She's a good friend of my daughter, Zoe. All right, out on the rooftop now. How's it feeling out there, Terry?
It is sunny and bright, and the warmth of the sun, it feels good out here first thing this morning. And it's only going to get hotter, so for those of you that don't like the temperatures when they're really up into those mid-20s, take your coffee outside, go for a walk right now. Make the most of these morning hours before it heats up. It's 14 degrees. It's already started. That's up a couple from last hour. And winds are still on the lighter side out of the west, 9 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 90%. And yeah, clear sky. The last of those clouds, they're gone. I'm just seeing blue sky above. It is looking beautiful. It's feeling good already. And like I said, it's going to get hot throughout the day today. Staying clear here through southern Manitoba. Not the case up north. You had a clear day yesterday, but today for northern Manitoba, showers, maybe even some thunderstorms. Not ideal to get the lightning strikes, but showers we will welcome as that area is still dry and desperately needing the rain. We're probably in for another round of rain here in southern Manitoba for tomorrow with some showers or maybe thunderstorms rolling through into the afternoon. all week long. Doesn't matter if we're getting the sunshine or the chance of precipitation. Every day throughout this week, mid-20 temperatures, and by the time we're moving ahead into the coming weekend, we're looking at even high 20 temperatures. But it only lasts through Saturday. Sunday, a round of rain will start to cool us down, and a little break from all the heat as we're looking ahead to Monday.
CTV Morning Live Weather is brought to you by Destination Dinner Stage, Manitoba's only musical dinner theater.
It's time now to check in on our question of the day. We wanted to know, what's your favorite baked good? And just a quick reminder, our question of the day has moved from Twitter. So now we want you to text your answer along with your name to 10400. That's 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response later in the show. At CTV Morning Live, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, whether they're furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions have been amazing, and we want to see even more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pal. Send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday between 6 and 9 to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on CTV Morning Live. We're going to take a break here. We'll be back after this. Good morning. Coming up to 7:16. A 23-year-old man is facing charges after police say 2 transit supervisors were assaulted aboard a city bus. The incident happened late Saturday afternoon near Fort Street and Graham Avenue downtown. The 2 supervisors boarded the bus to check on a man who was asleep. However, when he woke up, police say he became violent and allegedly attacked the pair. Officers arrived while the struggle was still going on and took him into custody. The 2 supervisors received minor injuries but didn't need medical treatment. U.S. President Donald Trump has left Kananaskis. He will miss the last day of the G7 summit.
President, any statement on why you're leaving the G7 early for Washington?
Well, I have to be back. Very important. I want to just thank our great host. He did a fantastic job. Thank you. In Canada.
The White House says President Trump had to leave early to deal with the situation in the Middle East. In a social media post, President Trump writes, quote, "Publicity-seeking President Emmanuel Macron of France mistakenly said that I left the G7 summit in Canada to go back to D.C. to work on a ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Wrong. He has no idea why I am now on my way to Washington, but it certainly has nothing to do with a ceasefire." As President Trump left, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Alberta. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is also expected at the summit today.
Simple, it's easy, it's precise, and it just goes very quickly. And I think Mark has a more complex idea, but also very good.
As for a possible trade deal between Canada and the U.S., Prime Minister Mark Carney and President Trump have agreed to pursue a deal within the next 30 days. After their meeting yesterday, Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc said talks are gaining steam and the 2 sides will meet again before the end of the week. The Edmonton Oilers need a win tonight to stay in this thing.
There is Reinhart with a shot. He scores! Sam Reinhart makes it.
The Panthers are one win away from repeating as Stanley Cup champions. The big question ahead of puck drop tonight is around who will be starting in net for the Oilers. Calvin Pickard allowed 4 goals on 18 shots Saturday night. He'd been starting in place of Stuart Skinner, who's been pulled in his past 2 starts. Puck drop tonight at 7 Central Time. Here's what's happening on Osborne Street. Looks like things are moving well over here. Just stopped at a red light, as you can see. If you have any issues out on the streets, please let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Now to some entertainment news. A big name is set to perform at Winnipeg's Grey Cup Festival.
Yes, since the day I left Milwaukee.
Grammy winner and country star Brad Paisley will be here to help the celebration. Paisley will appear in Manitoba as part of his Truck Still Works World Tour. He's scheduled to take the stage November 14th at Canada Life Centre as the Grey Cup Festival's official Friday night headliner. Tickets go on sale to the public Friday at bradpaisley.com. A separate ticket is required for the concert and isn't included in the 3-day 2025 Grey Cup Festival concert series and team social pass. The Grey Cup game is scheduled for November 16th at Princess Auto Stadium. A rising star in country music has announced an upcoming Winnipeg date.
to LA, and that's where you'll be forgotten. In 40 years, you'll still be here.
That's Dasha's hit song, Austin. It was one of the most streamed country songs of 2024. The 25-year-old rose to fame with a line dance that took over TikTok. She's since performed at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and Dick Clark's Rocking New Year's Eve. She's slated to perform at Winnipeg's Park Theatre on September 16th. Tickets go until Friday. Visit livenation.com. Toronto-based rockers Sloan have not one, but two concerts set for our province this fall. That's their new single, Live Forever, which will appear on their upcoming album in September. Sloan is scheduled to rock Brandon's Western Manitoba Centennial Auditorium November 24th and Winnipeg's Burton Cummings Theatre the following day. Tickets will be available Friday on the band's website, sloanmusic.com. Take your primetime lineup for a spin at 7 with Celebrity Wheel of Fortune and catch a double shot of The Rookies starting at 8. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
All right, a look now through the Bath Fitter Live Eye. Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. And that sky is looking a little bit brighter. We did have some heavier looking clouds hanging over us a couple hours ago, bringing some showers, even thunderstorms in surrounding areas. Winnipeg stayed dry. We're now in the clear as all of that activity pushes further off to the east. Temperature-wise, we're already on the rise now. From 12 degrees last hour, we're sitting at 14. Many of us are sitting at 14 degrees. We've got a couple of places at 13 in Brandon, Dauphin. Roblin still sitting at the seasonal 11 degrees, but winning the game this morning is the Morden-Winkler area, sitting currently at 16. Northern Manitoba, we're seeing double digits pretty much throughout the entire region, the exception being Churchill at a high single 8 degrees. There's that activity that I was talking about earlier on. Does seem to be pretty much tapering off as it continues to track further to the east. We will see the sky and the last of the clouds clearing on out. Temperatures, they are going to be above seasonal today. Not by much, but 17 expected into the next hours. We're sending kids off to school, and up to 25 by the time they're coming home again. For one of the last few days of the year, those winds this afternoon will be getting a little bit stronger out of the north, and at times gusting to 40 kilometers per hour. Clearing out today, but another round of rain tomorrow. Showers or thunderstorms, still with these mid to high 20 temperatures. Those are going to be lasting right on into the coming weekend. And then Sunday, another round of rain is expected. Showers, possible thunderstorms, and temperatures starting to cool down, but even cooler yet when we're looking ahead to a cloudy Monday morning. And out at Boundary Creek, Gator is looking a little bit pensive there, or perhaps just curious to see what is off in the distance. Pat snapped this photo and shared it. Keep them coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
CTV Morning Live School Day Forecast is brought to you by Rainbow Stage, your season to sing.
Canadians lost over $600 million to scams last year, and many of the victims were seniors. CTV's Pat Foran shares some advice on how to avoid some common scams targeting seniors.
A senior trying to invest money in GICs was scammed out of $750,000.
I've got zero, nothing.
Another senior got caught in a romance scam and handed over $20,000 to criminals.
He fell in love with me when he seen my picture.
Roofers going door to door scammed this woman out of $80,000.
There's way more damage here than we thought.
And this man got caught in the grandparent scam and lost $8,000.
I would say it's the worst thing with money that has happened to me in my life.
We've seen an increase in especially investment frauds targeting older people in Canada.
The Canadian Network for the Prevention of Elder Abuse says seniors need to stop being so trusting and not worry so much about being polite.
It's okay to be rude. No is a full answer. You don't have to justify anything. You will not hurt the feelings of the scammer.
It's getting almost impossible for the average person, let alone somebody who's senior, to be able to determine whether these are real.
Cybersecurity experts say many seniors overshare their personal information online, which can lead them to being hacked.
So if you go into a senior citizen's Facebook account, you'll see pictures of their grandchildren, when their birthdays are, the names of their spouses, where they went for their vacation last year. All this information is a veritable, it's a jackpot for any sort of hacker.
Seniors are advised to educate themselves about scams and adopt good online habits like using different passwords and changing them often. Families are also advised to speak to seniors about scams and protecting their identity, and they should speak with a trusted friend or family member if they're concerned something is a scam. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Coming up, we're learning all about cheer and how these young athletes have been doing this for years and the benefits to their health. Stay with us. Let's go back to Ainsley McPhail now, who's live at the Vision Cheer Company this morning. We're learning a lot about the sport. Now we're going to hear more about tumbling and what that is. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. I really thought I'd give my triceps a rest with this one and watch the experts do it behind me. Tumbling. Haley Verbrugge joins me to tell us all about it. So for folks who have not, well, I'm sure they've seen it, but who have not, don't have a general understanding, what is it?
Tumbling is an acrobatic movement which involves flips, somersaults, and it's an individual skill that we can work on our own, which is kind of cool because cheerleading is normally all about stunting, so it's an aspect of our sport where the kids can practice on their own, so it's cool.
Well, and with Vision Cheer, you guys start as young as 2 years old. Maybe they're not doing these exercises at 2, but you're building those fundamentals. How does it all start?
Yeah, so normally we'll always start out with basic movement and foundational skills and being able to hold like a hollow body, being able to hold different shapes, and then as they start to get older, we'll look at doing more drills and shaping to allow them to develop these kind of skills, which is a long way down the road for the 2-year-olds.
Well, let's talk about what we just saw. What was that exercise called?
So that was called a round off back handspring layout.
Okay.
So it's a level 4 skill, so it's kind of our like mid-level skill.
Now say that 5 times fast. Round out, but okay, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late. When it comes to the level of competition too, because they're super advanced. We were just talking off camera about just how competitive it really gets internationally. You guys recently this year placed 6th in your division. What does that mean for cheer, specifically putting Manitoba on the map?
I think it's like, again, awesome for Manitoba. We've never really had a team that's come into finals and placing that well, and we've kind of placed in the top 5, 6 the last 2 years, so it's been really awesome to put Manitoba on the map.
And what a bounce they have. But I mean, I'll give it to their athleticism, but the floor, it truly is bouncy.
It is. It's a little bit springy. It's like a gymnastics floor, and it just allows them to stay safe, but it also allows them to do tumbling without, having too much injury or requiring the force of a dead floor. So.
And safety is paramount, of course. What are some things that you're teaching in order to maintain that?
We always teach them how to fall, actually, when they learn to tumble. So there's no kind of wrist or ankle injuries, because that's a big step, is teaching them how to fall and teaching them to make sure they can do it safely before they execute skills. So
you guys have an open house coming up. You want people to try cheer?
Yes, we do. It's on July 22nd from 5:30 to 7:30.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Coming up at 7:42, we're learning a different part of cheer and the mechanics of those lifts.
All right, a beautiful start to your Tuesday. We're sitting at 14 degrees right now with plenty of sun shining over us and winds out of the west, 9 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 90%. It is a little bit humid this morning. There's been a little bit of activity with the precipitation rolling in areas surrounding us. That was more so earlier this morning. You can see it's really starting to taper off now as it continues to track further to the east. Speaking of further east, could be seeing some showers or maybe thunderstorms across that eastern border. And much of northern Manitoba also in for some precipitation today. Showers, maybe thunderstorms. And I know the thunderstorms aren't ideal. What we don't need is lightning striking those very dry areas, but what we do need is the rain. And we've got another round of that coming for today across northern Manitoba. Here in the south, it's going to be clear or clearing as the day goes on. Plenty of sunshine, plenty of heat. 24 degrees normal for this time of year. We're going to get up to about 25 today with north winds at times gusting to about 40 kilometers per hour. So we will notice that breeze increasing into the afternoon, but tapering off overnight as it continues to clear out with 14 degrees are expected low this coming night. And then for tomorrow's the chance that we could have here in the south of seeing another round of precipitation. Yesterday's really didn't amount to too much. I was kind of excited about maybe some showers rolling through southern Manitoba because we had that hot, dry weekend. Yesterday, the brief bit of shower activity really didn't do much in the way of hydrating the flowers, the grounds, anything like that. So maybe tomorrow's round will be a little more significant. 26 degrees, still with those winds at times gusting to 40 clicks. And then it's back to the sunshine again and will stay dry into the weekend. But another round of precipitation could be wrapping up the weekend Sunday. And with that comes some slightly cooler temperatures carrying us into Monday.
Thank you, Terry. Prime Minister Mark Carney's One Canadian Economy Act is being pushed through the House of Commons this week. If passed, Bill C-5 would grant Ottawa sweeping powers on major infrastructure projects of national interest, and that's not sitting well with some Indigenous leaders.
First Nations people need to be at the table. We are the first peoples of this land. You need to respect that role and that responsibility that we have to the land.
Bill C-5 aims to reduce interprovincial trade barriers, ease labor mobility, and speed up infrastructure major projects in response to Canada's ongoing trade dispute with the United States. The bill is being rushed through Parliament this week, and leaders like Grand Chief Kyra Wilson of the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs are concerned it's happening without meaningful consultation.
First Nations leadership are not necessarily against development. You know, there are many projects that leadership may want to be a part of, but that conversation needs to happen.
Other leaders, like Manitoba Métis Federation President David Chartrand, aren't opposed to Bill C-5. However, Chartrand says that support can't come at the expense of Métis sovereignty. Crown prosecutors have stayed child sex charges against the chief of a Manitoba First Nation, and a warning: some details in this story may be disturbing. The provincial court says charges of sexual assault, sexual interference, and possessing and making child pornography were stayed Friday against Christopher Travers. Travers was the leader of Lake St. Martin First Nation when he was arrested last April. He was accused of forcing an 8-year-old girl into a bathroom at his home, taking photos of her, and sexually assaulting her in 2023. He pleaded not guilty and has maintained his innocence during his trial, which began in March. In an email, the Crown's office tells CTV that based on new information presented at the trial, it was determined it was no longer appropriate to proceed with the case. Canadian premiers and U.S. governors say they're doing what they can to mend fences, but there are some things that are out of their control.
Yeah, we can't control what people tweet in the middle of the night. But there are things that are within our control, and that's where we should work together.
And Canadians do not deserve the expressions of disrespect that they're receiving.
Eastern Canadian premiers and governors from the U.S. Northeast met yesterday in Boston. The meeting was called to talk trade, energy, and declining tourism. U.S. border states are trying to attract more Canadian visitors, but premiers are sticking to their message to promote travel within Canada. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says he's planning to host another meeting to talk about energy and minerals. At least 15 people were killed and dozens injured after Russia's deadliest attack on Kyiv in months. Ukraine's interior minister said the country has been hit with 440 drones and 32 missiles. The overnight attack is among the largest the capital has seen since the start of the war. Russia's defense ministry said it targeted Ukraine's military-industrial complexes. The MI6 has the first female chief in its 116-year history. Blaise Metropouli will become the next head of the UK's Foreign Intelligence Service. She served as Director Q at the agency in charge of technology and innovation. The chief of MI6 is referred to as C. C is the only member of the service whose name is public. On a hot day, a can of pop can provide a lot of refreshment, and depending on what happens next, it can also provide a wheelchair. Monday afternoon, 14-year-old Layla received this new high-tech chair. It's the 69th donated by Tabs for Wheelchairs since the program began 27 years ago. As you can imagine, it takes a lot of small taps to get enough money to buy a new wheelchair. But Tabs for Wheelchairs now has 188 schools, 306 companies and groups, plus hundreds of individuals around the city and province saving tabs for them.
There are approximately 360 bags here. There's another 100 that were taken in Steinbach. So we've got about 460, and that mounted to 23 million tabs, approximately. You can never, right? So that's how many, and so that's super. It's the most we've ever done in 27 years.
As more schools and businesses come on board, the organization says they can help more people. Here's a look now at what's happening on the St. James Bridge. It looks like things are moving well. Starting off this Tuesday morning, looks like a gorgeous start to your day. If you see any problems out on the streets when you head to work, please let us know. And here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.36. The provincial average is lower at $1.27. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.26. The lowest price in the city is $1.19. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
Price at the pump brought to you by kidneycard.ca. Get a free tow and a tax receipt for value of your car.
Right now we're sitting at 14 degrees under mainly sunny skies. We'll be back after this with more CTV Morning Live.
CTV Morning Live is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
There's a look outside. Does that look a little bit gray? I think it looks brighter out there right now. If I'm going to be up in the rooftop in 10 minutes time, I'll let you know. I think that's just our camera view particularly. Anyway, 14 degrees, winds out of the west are 9 clicks, the pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 90%. I'll be out there in just a few more minutes. And I expect I'm going to be basking in sunshine. We've been watching these clouds and clearing out of the way, and the satellite image is still telling us that. It's northern Manitoba where you're probably going to be seeing the precipitation today with showers or maybe even some thunderstorms rolling through. But yesterday you ended up with the dry conditions, whereas precipitation rolled through southern Manitoba. For yesterday, we didn't get much here in Winnipeg, but other areas certainly did. And as a result, some good news. All of the air quality issues have been relieved, so no warnings or even advisories across Manitoba today. They have all been lifted. Now, you can see possible showers or thunderstorms for some places into the north. Island Lake will probably enjoy a little more sunshine. Everybody's looking at these low to even mid-20 temperatures, so it is still going to be a mild one today, and we will welcome that rain to come. The thunderstorms not ideal because we don't need lightning striking in those very dry areas, but we will certainly welcome all of the rain that'll be moving through. It will be a drier day, though, here through southern Manitoba with mid-20 temperatures on tap, and just for a reference point, 24 degrees. That's normal for this time of year. We're likely to be just beyond it today to about 25, and a bit more of a breeze increasing later on into the afternoon. That'll be a north wind or a northwest wind, at times gusting to 40 clicks, and the possibility that we could still see some showers or thunderstorms developing across that eastern border through parts of northwestern Ontario. Now, we could be seeing more of that again tomorrow. Into the afternoon, those showers or thunderstorms are possible. Then it's back to this clearer, drier conditions until we're pushing into the weekend, but wrapping up the weekend Sunday with yet another round of rain.
Thank you, Terry. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who is at Vision Cheer Company this morning. Lots of great athletes in the background there, Ainsley. Tell us more about what they're doing now.
Well, you think I could specifically answer that? I was talking to Nick, and I go, "What's that one?" He goes, "That one's advanced." I'm like, it kind of looks like a Superman. We'll get to the specifics in a second. I definitely can't answer that, but what I can answer is why cheer? There's something for everybody here, and I'm sure there's a lot of parents watching going, I would love to put my child in this sport. So why cheer, and why do people put their kids in this sport?
You know, one of the really common ways that people get into it is they try gymnastics or they try dance and they want a little bit of both, or they want, you know, more options or whatever. One of the things that's really popular with people when they come try it is the energy and then the teamwork aspect too. And like obviously lots of team sports have teamwork as a part of it, but there's a specific level of trust that comes with literally throwing your friends in the air. And then also just the confidence building that comes with the fact that like we genuinely have to teach confident performance energy and the big smiles and stuff like that. And that really does help with athletic development and then just personality development and confidence too, which is great for obviously young people and people of all ages really.
Mm-hmm. And it empowers them to do more, whether it be the inclusivity level or that confidence piece. What makes cheer so inclusive?
Well, there really is a spot for anyone, all body types, all ages, all levels. Something that Cheer's always prided itself in is its level of inclusivity too. Like we go to the World Championships every year, and our special abilities teams compete at the same competition as the highest level, like Olympic level teams. And it's just always been about like no matter what's your level, what your age, what your skill level, you all compete together, you all work together, and no matter where you're at, you know, everyone gets kind of the same experience with the sport.
Mm-hmm. And community too. I literally see the girls hugging. Yeah. Like I can really get a sense that they enjoy each other's company. How important is that? You know, that sisterhood, that brotherhood.
Yeah, that's like we take it very seriously here at Vision, that like sense of community, but also like the family aspect or whatever is a huge part, because yeah, it comes down to trust, and it comes down to getting to know each other, and all working towards the same goal. And like I said, it's like that in a lot of sports, but we're really holding each other in each other's hands here, and that's what makes community such a big part of what we do here.
Thank you so much. And coming up, we're answering Michelle's burning question. What's the name of that lift?
All right, thank you, Ainsley. A new study is examining brain activity in hockey players. The researchers' cutting-edge technology can also help athletes better understand their performance. CTV's Ben Nesbitt explains.
NHL superstar Connor McDavid has pushed the boundaries of physical performance with his electrifying speed. But now SFU researchers are hoping to help athletes speed up their brains.
We discovered a way to measure cognitive performance.
Neuroscientist and SFU professor Ryan Darcy co-founded the NeuroCatch brain scanner. The portable device measures brain responses related to sensory, attentional, and cognitive processing in just 6 minutes using a soft cap.
We can measure you thinking faster, and we can optimize that so that you're actually able to perform better from a mental processing point of view.
The device is being used by sports teams around the globe, and recently Darcy wanted to put it to the test here in BC, where he and his team tested nearly 380 Junior A hockey players. The results ultimately differed by positions, with forwards having about a 60 millisecond faster processing speed on average than defensemen.
By our ability to measure their objective brainwaves, we could start to find the things that actually allow them to think faster.
The athletes can then take the feedback and incorporate mental training into their regimen.
We now have kind of an incredible list of things that allow you to shave like 50, 100 to 150 milliseconds off of your ability to cognitively anticipate the play.
Helping skaters stay a step ahead, one scan at a time. Ben Nesbitt, CTV News, Vancouver.
It's time for Let's Celebrate. Let's see who's having a celebration today. Happy birthday to grandson Bryce, love Coco and Papa B. Happy birthday to brother Curtis from his siblings, kids, and grandkids. Happy 8th birthday, Masha. Diane and your family wish you a wonderful day. Happy 7th birthday, Sadea. Love your family. Bonne fête and happy 12th birthday, Alexis. Nous t'aimons gros comme le ciel et pour toujours. Dad, Mom, and Nickel. Happy 8th birthday, Tylee, with love from Daddy, Mommy, family, and friends. And a happy 48th birthday, Geraldine. Love from your big sis, Mel, and the rest of your family and friends. If someone you care about is having a birthday, anniversary, retirement, or graduation, let's celebrate. To submit your celebration, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Let's Celebrate, brought to you by Party Stuff, 3 Winnipeg locations and at partystuff.ca. Weather, brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful at 900 Lorimer Boulevard, featuring Hunter Douglas shades.
So 10 minutes ago, I was inside in the studio looking through the camera view and thinking, does it look a little bit dark? I can promise you now, it does not. I need some sunglasses out here. It is blindingly bright, beautiful bright blue sky above, very few clouds. They've all been clearing out after some early precipitation in areas surrounding us, although Winnipeg really didn't see much of that. It's been dry now and will be throughout the day today. We're sitting at 14 degrees with light winds out of the west, just 9 clicks. Pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 90%. You can certainly feel still that humidity in the air, and that passing precipitation is continuing to track further to the east, although it does seem to be really tapering off at the same time. For northern Manitoba, yesterday, while we were getting some precipitation here in the south, not much in Winnipeg, but we did see some passing through. Northern Manitoba remained on the drier side yesterday, and today it'll be your turn to get that precipitation with showers and thunderstorms expected all across northern Manitoba. Still some low to mid-20 temperatures in that area, whereas here in the south, sunny and dry with mid-20s expected, but we could get another round of rain or showers and thunderstorms passing through tomorrow.
Thanks, Terry. We see them and hear them buzzing around in our skies, but few of us know about the incredible skills honeybees possess and the vital role they play in our ecosystem. But an upcoming free event is hoping to change that. I'm joined now by Cindy and David Buss, owners of Golden Bay Honey and Beehive Tour Experience. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Now, this journey with beekeeping didn't start for you until 2018. Tell us what brought you to that new enterprise.
Well, we both worked full-time after we bought our property in Beausejour there.
Yeah.
And we needed something to keep for our retirement, but we needed something that did not eat our attention every day.
Okay.
And it turned out bees was it.
And had you ever ventured in beekeeping before?
No. And as we realized after we got into beekeeping, the previous owners of the property were beekeepers, and the original settlers on that property were also beekeepers.
Wow.
So there's close to 75 years of beekeeping on that property.
So you went down on this journey. Were you not afraid of bees before?
Absolutely terrified.
Yes. Yeah. So what happened? How did you overcome those fears?
It still hurts.
And so you got, how many bees do you have in your property?
We have about 20 hives at the moment.
And so out of those 20 hives, you don't have to check in on them more often than once a week or once every 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, once a week, every couple of weeks is fine.
Okay, so you have bees not just at your property, but also in the city. Tell us about those.
So we have a couple of beehives at Bee Clean Maintenance on Nairn. We've had them, this is our third year of having beehives there. We have two hives. And just this year and 2 weeks ago, we put hives on top of 201 Portage at Portage, Maine.
And so what have you learned that is the most fascinating thing about bees that some people at home might not realize?
They are a very calculated creature. So they only live 42 to 45 days, and every couple of days their job changes. And so it's quite unique, and it's just like that for their 42 days. So they only have a short time to live and a lot of things to do in that short time frame.
So in those 42 days, what do they do?
They will, the young larva, well, I'll tell you, the young bee will tend to the young larva, and and also up to 12 to 18 days, they're the ones that will produce the wax.
Okay.
And they'll produce about 8 to 12 scales of wax in 10 to 12 hours. And to make actually a pound of wax, they have to consume 8 pounds of honey.
Wow.
So it's just incredible.
They're constant little go-getters.
They are.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you've been selling your honey since 2018, but when you were selling your honey, people would come by and be like, hey, where are the bees? The honey's good, but where are the bees, right?
Yeah, we would take them right into the apiary without any bee suits, and I'd pull out a frame of bees and say, hey, check this out.
Yeah. And people loved it.
They absolutely loved it.
So now you're offering tours. Tell us about the tours.
The tours, we've been having schools coming. We've got several organizations coming. We've got daycare's coming for like a day camp this year. It's expanded, and it's just a lot of fun.
We have a crew of volunteers that come and help because we offer a pollinator walk, we offer candle making, we offer wax sheet making, luminary making, go diving into the hive, because some people come and then they realize that, well, maybe they don't want to go into the hive, but everybody puts on a bee suit. He does a 45-minute talk about the bee education, so it's fun, and lots of people leave saying, hey, we're going to bring friends back.
Right. So if you want more information on one of those tours, we have a link on our website. Thank you to both of you for sharing this with us. Thank you. Coming up, we're going to learn more about cheer and introduce you to some of the other moves that are happening as you're looking right now. Stay with us.
Hey there, welcome inside the Sports Center newsroom. I'm Lindsay Hamilton with your must-see moment from Monday. And for this one, we are heading to the FIFA Club World Cup as Chelsea taking on LAFC. In the 34th minute here, Nicholas Jackson rolling a perfect pass right through to Pedro Neto, fakes out the defender, buries the ball low into the near post. Fantastic goal from the 25-year-old Portuguese star, displaying his best qualities on that one. Leaves his opponent on the floor before drilling it home with some low power. That right there, your must-see moment. Meanwhile, coming up on Tuesday, you can see Canada taking on Honduras on the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Pre-match coverage of that one beginning at 9 p.m. Central Time. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
TSN Must See Moments brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, your Hunter Douglas shade provider for over 40 years.
Good morning. It's 8 o'clock on your Tuesday. Thank you so much for being with us here on CTV Morning Live. In the next hour, we have a lot for you, including the big bake sale. We're going to tell you about a group of pharmacists putting on a bake sale, and it's all for a great cause. It's to make some kids' wishes come true. Also at 8:45, Dudu, the international clown, is here for the Red River X, and he joins us in studio. But first, your headlines. Guarded optimism. Some wildfire evacuees are clear to head home, but the fire situation means returns could be short-lived. Trade talks. Canada and the U.S. commit to discussions over the next 30 days toward a longer-term deal. And Regal Ride. Auto body students lovingly restore this historic Lincoln that was at one time fit for a princess.
You said doo-doo. Okay, 14 degrees outside right now, plenty of sunshine over us. We've got winds out of the west, 9 kilometers per hour, the pressure falling, the humidity at 90%. I am such a child. She's like, yes, you are. We know that. Anyway, here's the good news that I have this morning. No doo-doo here in studio. No, I'm kidding. He'll be in later on this morning. What I do have to tell you is that we've got clear warnings. Well, no, the warnings have been lifted. That's what I'm trying to say. All across Manitoba. They are still in place, the warning itself, and the yellow is the advisory. That's in parts of northwestern Ontario. But that rain that we got yesterday through parts of central and southern Manitoba, once again, really helped with that air quality. And another round of rain could be showing up today in parts of northern Manitoba where it is needed the most. There was a little bit of morning precipitation in areas surrounding us. Winnipeg did not see that. And it's already starting to taper off. We might see a little bit more developing through parts of northwestern Ontario. There you can see some into the afternoon. But this is the better news because much of the north where those fires are still burning has that chance of showers. There is a chance of thunderstorms. We don't need lightning striking dry areas, but we certainly will welcome any rain that moves through. And then tomorrow we could be seeing more of that precipitation here through southern Manitoba. Showers, possible thunderstorms, only for another day. Then it's back to sunny, dry conditions as we're rolling on into the weekend. Temperatures, well, 24 degrees is normal for this time of year. We're going to be there or above right into the start of the weekend. And we were just talking about the bees, and that's what my art is about. It was called Save the Bees. Thank you, Joaquin. We appreciate your art. It looks stunning. And we'd like to see your art as well. So please draw a picture, color, paint, whatever it is, and send it to us. Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
Thank you, Terry. New this morning, a section of the Trans-Canada Highway in Headingley is closed following a car crash involving a pedestrian. RCMP say Highway 1 westbound from McGuckin Road to Manitoba Street is closed. Mounties confirmed a collision in this area but would not provide any further information. More details are expected later today. An update now on the wildfire situation across Manitoba. The province says there have been no new evacuations over the past 24 hours, and residents of several communities have been cleared to head home. But despite this good news, there are still 24 states of emergency and 25 communities remain evacuated. A little precipitation over the weekend helped the firefight. On Monday, there were 18 fires burning across the province, 7 out of control. Wildfire officials are warning that the fire danger is far from over. They're expecting more fires in the coming days because the areas that did receive some rain earlier in the month have dried out. And lightning is always a danger too, and that could mean evacuee homecomings could be short-lived.
Even though we are seeing communities make the decision to return home, and those decisions are being made in consultation with the Wildfire Service as well as Office of the Fire Commissioner, I want to reiterate that these are very large fires and they are not extinguished. They are not out and won't be for some time.
And according to a Facebook post this morning from the town of Bissett, as of just a few minutes ago, the evacuation order has been lifted and residents of Bissett are now cleared to return home. Wildfire evacuees have been out of their homes for weeks now. This also means they've been away from their doctors and other medical supports. That's why Manitoba Blue Cross is offering to help. The insurance company is offering evacuees free counseling sessions and access to virtual health care services. If any wildfire evacuees need mental health support, they can get up to 3 in-person or virtual counseling sessions with Blue Cross's Employee Assistance Program. They can also use the company's virtual go-to doctor team for some medical issues such as infections, rashes, and allergies. Some new developments this morning on the trade front arising from the G7 regarding a possible deal between Canada and the U.S.
I've always been a tariff. It's simple, it's easy, it's precise, and it just goes very quickly. And I think Mark has a more complex idea, but also very good.
Prime Minister Mark Carney and President Trump have agreed to pursue a deal within the next 30 days. After their meeting yesterday, Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc said talks are gaining steam, and the two sides will meet again before the end of the week. They sure do build them like they used to.
The significance of it and the history of it, it just adds even more to the coolness factor of it.
Students at the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology are restoring this antique car. The 1951 Lincoln Cosmopolitan convertible was used for then Princess Elizabeth's visit to Canada. It's one of 60 cars built in 1951 for Princess Elizabeth's first visit to Canada before becoming Queen. Students of the auto body program have been busy restoring the car by putting on new tires, painting the wheels, and adding new hubcaps. The car will be on display at their annual car show this weekend. It's gorgeous. Here's a look now at what's happening on Donald Street. Things are moving well over here. No issues to tell you about. If you have any traffic tips to share with us, please do so. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who has been working with the cheer club this morning. They're doing a lot of cool moves. And Ainsley, are you going to do any more?
You're gonna have to wait for 8:38.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna be on the edge of your seat for that one.
Can't wait.
I've been asked. We'll see about that. Haley's joining me once again, and we're gonna walk through a pyramid because although it is a team sport, there's individual elements as well. So tell us about what goes into a pyramid and what happens in order to build up to that point.
Yeah, so I think pyramids, obviously cheerleading has a lot of trust, right? So we want to work together and separate the things in the pyramid first, and then once we feel confident with all the skills, then we try to connect. Let's do the pyramid one more time back here. Yeah. Let's show what it looks like. Yeah.
And a lot of it's with timing as well. I could hear her physically counting. So is that a big part of it?
Yes, timing is so important because if one person goes at a different time, then it actually takes the whole pyramid down.
Oh, no.
So
we don't want that.
We want everyone to be on sync so that they can connect. Yes. And all match up together nicely.
And what else allows them to do that? Like, do they communicate with each other at all, or is that something that happens kind of behind the scenes?
Yeah, I would say like there is communication on the bottom levels for sure, making sure that they're dipping on the right counts and moving on the right counts and doing the things that they need to do. But also there's just trust in the counts and knowing when to go and what number to hit the shapes on. So
you mentioned a basket earlier. What is that and how is it done?
So they just did that little toe touch basket. I'm not sure if they caught it on there or not, but it's a nice big toss, and from the bottom they kind of lift up and they give a really big throw, and the flyers execute a skill, and they're very scary to learn, I think, for the flyers because they're going way higher than they normally would, but yeah.
I'm sure that's a fun day of practice.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are doing an open house, so this will take some time to build up to, but if somebody is at home interested, when can they take part in this?
Yeah, so it's July 22nd from 5:30 to 7:30. We'll be here. We'll be doing demos with our summer teams. We'll be having all our staff here to answer questions and provide information on programming for September. So,
what does that allow you to do? Grow the sport?
Yeah, it allows us to show the community, like the Headingley community and the area around, what cheerleading is and how awesome our sport is and the community is for cheer in Manitoba. So,
thank you so much. Will I go flying at 8:38? This and more coming up.
All right.
At 8:30.
Thank you, Ainsley. Multiple G7 protests in Banff and Calgary away from the summit site. CTV's Kathy Lee on what the demonstrators want the leaders to hear as Kananaskis itself remains off limits to the public.
A pristine paradise that stuns tourists to Banff every time.
It's gorgeous.
The breathtaking vistas, a reminder of what's at stake.
Environmentally, that's what I'm kind of focused on.
Environment and climate issues, a sticking point for this group of protesters in a designated demonstration zone, pushing G7 leaders in Kananaskis to address. Their number small compared to the hundreds in Calgary the day before.
The engagement has been wonderful.
One of the unique things about this designated demonstration zone in Banff is that it's far away from Calgary and not as accessible to many people, but that hasn't stopped groups from coming here. These cyclists behind me came from Canmore, which is the next town over. It takes about 1 to 2 hours to bike.
This cyclist says her mission to save the bears.
We want our legacy to be having grizzly bears in the Bow Valley like another 100 years from now.
This group highlighting human rights violations in their country.
We are persecuted by the Chinese Communist Party.
G7. These people taking their message to the heart of Banff. Some propping up one leader of state, the president of Ukraine.
Just to show that there are some Ukrainians who are standing beside him.
Others critical of another.
Just all the stuff going on in the States right now, and having Trump be allowed into Canada kind of bothers me.
And in Calgary, members of this group supporting a proposed independent Sikh state in India.
Under his government, there's a serious threat.
And although this group also small, those here and here, adamant on standing their ground. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Banff.
There's a look right now through the Bath Fitter Live Eye Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. I was saying it looks a little bit dark by that particular view. That is not at all indicative of what you're going to experience if you actually step outside. It is bright, it is sunny, it is warm already, and in fact, these temperatures just bounced up few degrees this past hour alone. We were at 14 in the 7 o'clock hour, and now for 8 o'clock we're sitting at 17 with similar temperatures through much of southern Manitoba, mid to almost high teens as we're continuing on through the morning. 11 degrees, by the way, is a seasonal low temperature, and we were pretty close to that. Our coolest temperature this morning was around 12, so we are making those gains already, as is northern Manitoba, who right now is in those mid-teens, except for Churchill at 8 degrees, but headed up into the low 20s today. But good news for northern Manitoba, you've got a round of precipitation coming. Bad news is it could include some thunderstorms, but certainly we will welcome any showers that come through, and we'll just hope that there's no lightning striking those very dry areas. There was a bit of precipitation passing through parts of southern Manitoba earlier. That is already seeming to taper off as it continues pushing further east. So now 17 degrees as we're sending kids off to school for one of the last few days. 25 by the time they're coming home again. Into the afternoon, those winds might increase ever so slightly out of the north, at times gusting to about 40 kilometers per hour. 25 today, 26 tomorrow, but we do have a chance of showers or maybe some thunderstorms into the afternoon, and then remaining dry into the start of the weekend, getting up to 27 degrees. Slight bit of a cool down Sunday with some showers, and cooler yet on Monday as we look ahead to next week. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with more CTV Morning Live.
CTV Morning Live School Day Forecast is brought to you by Rainbow Stage, your season to sing.
Good morning. Coming up to 8:15, the Winnipeg Folk Festival is celebrating a milestone this summer, and we want you to have the whole experience. Folk Fest is 50 in 2025. As always, it will feature music, workshops, and a whole lot more. And you could be there to make memories of your own. We're giving away tickets for the entire weekend, plus quiet camping for you and 3 friends. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and tell us your favorite memory, whether it's from the first festival or the 49th, and maybe share a pic or two. Good luck.
Canada's benchmark stock index, the S&P TSX Composite Index, rose by 0.25 percentage point yesterday and will begin today's trading day at 26,568 points. In the U.S., meanwhile, stocks rose sharply yesterday, but futures contracts on the 3 main U.S. stock indices were down this morning. A prominent Wall Street strategist says the dramatic rally in the price of gold is over. Max Layton at Citigroup predicts the price of gold will drop to between $2,500 and $2,700 US dollars per ounce by the middle of next year. This morning, gold was trading at $3,415 per ounce, and it has increased by 70% over the past 2 years. Finally, the Canadian dollar was priced at 73.7 cents US this morning. That's its highest level versus the US dollar since early October of last year. From the BNN Bloomberg Newsroom in Toronto, I'm Paul Bagnall.
Whether you're a seasoned crib shark or just learning how to count your 15s or your runs, the Winnipeg Cribbage group has a spot for you at one of its tables. And members are getting so much more out of this inclusive club than just a game. Joining me now to tell us more is Lyndon Demers, organizer of the Winnipeg Cribbage group. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for joining us. Now, 2018 is when you started playing crib with these groups, right?
Yes, yeah.
On Wednesdays, and then the Wednesday day didn't work out for you, so you just, or the Tuesday.
Yeah, the Tuesday night didn't work out.
And then your shift changed,
yes.
and you decided to start your own group for Wednesdays. Tell us why you felt that was important to do.
Well, I just, I enjoyed being part of the crib group, and thought I would get a big group on my own on the Wednesday night as well, and it brings out the community. And I started it right after COVID, so venues were looking for people to sit in their seats too, so it's good.
And it's fun. Okay, so when you were 10 years old, you and your dad would play cribbage.
Yes.
Tell us about what that brought to your life.
A little bit of competition. He kind of took points from me when I missed points, so I now sometimes take points from him.
Oh, so you still play with your dad?
Oh, yes.
Even on Father's Day, you played with him?
Yes. Unfortunately, he took victory.
So you've been skunked a few times?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
But you also have skunked him?
Of course.
So over the years, you've learned, it's really good for learning how to count, especially if you're a little guy, right? So when you were 10, what did it bring to your math skills?
Well, I just learning different combinations of cards and what they add up to, and up to 31, and it's
It gets you thinking in a different way too, and you have to think quickly as well.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so this group is open to everyone, right?
Yes, new players, seasoned players. We don't turn away anyone.
And it's a free event? Is that how it works?
Yeah, my Wednesday nights are free. The venue doesn't charge anything to use their space, so there's no cost for players to come.
Okay, so describe what it's like on a Wednesday night during the cribbage tournaments that you have going on there.
It's usually 2 versus 2, like partners. So you don't have to bring a partner, but and then winners move on to a different table to switch the ones that don't win.
Okay.
So everyone, so cards and name tags and everything is provided. Usually always set up when the players arrive, and just a couple hours on a Wednesday to have fun with the community.
And you every week you see new faces, right?
Yeah, it's on a bi-weekly basis, so it's alternating, and then the Tuesday night group is on the Tuesday following the Wednesday nights.
We're living in a time where everybody's on their tablets, they're on their phones. Why is this a good way to meet new people and to interact and be a part of the community?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean,
you've made new friends with this, right?
Yeah, I've made new friends. Just new relationships, and
So if someone's watching this right now and maybe they want to make new connections, or they just want to, skunk you out, perhaps, what should they do? How do they get involved with your group?
We're on Facebook, but if you want any updates on when the nights are, there's an email address as well. Okay. Mostly just show up on the nights, and
you recently had a huge number of new faces show up, so you expect more people will come. There's lots of space. Yes. The tables are all set up for you. The cards are there. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. And if you do want more information, we have a link on our website. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, I'm really glad that I decided to give my flowers a bit of a drink yesterday in advance of the possible precipitation. And I did that because it was a hot, dry weekend and they were feeling a little bit parched. So I watered them and thought, well, maybe we'll still get some rain and it'll be an extra drink. We got very little rain. My rain gauge showed nothing. My rooftop pool completely dry. I saw a few speckles of rain on my patio in the downtown area, but overall, we didn't really get a good soaking here in Winnipeg. We might get something tomorrow, but today, you're going to need to water them if you didn't yesterday. Give them a drink. They're needing it. 17 degrees. It's already warming up right now. Plenty of sunshine over us with the north-northwest winds, 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 74%. Where the rain might fall today is northern Manitoba, and we need it there. We will welcome it. Showers, there is the possibility of thunderstorms. Hopefully no lightning strikes in those dry areas, but certainly some rain is needed, and we will hopefully get a good soaking in that stretch today. Now, we could get another round of rain on the way for tomorrow. Showers, possible thunderstorms, most likely later on into the afternoon. And the temperatures over the next couple of days, right through the rest of this week and into the weekend, are mid to even high 20s as we're looking to head into the weekend. There will be a little bit of a cool down, but it's not going to happen until another round of rain through on Sunday, and following that, some slightly cooler temperatures on Monday for the start of next week. I love this picture of a little gator looking so curious about what's off in the distance there. Pat said he may have spotted a beaver. Keeping an eye on that. Thank you for the photo, Pat. Keep them coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
CTV Morning Live Weather brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Former NDP leader Jagmeet Singh has issued a public apology. It was for attending a Kendrick Lamar concert in Drake's hometown of Toronto. CTV's Andrea Case has more.
Fans were certainly ready to party when Kendrick Lamar with special guest SZA played 2 shows in Toronto last week.
Let's go.
But one attendee in particular is feeling the heat. Jagmeet Singh was spotted at the show, and Toronto rapper Drake isn't happy about it, going as far as calling the former NDP leader a goof for being there. Drake and Lamar have been embroiled in a beef for over a year, the two dropping diss tracks against each other. The undisputed winner of the feud is Lamar and his Grammy-winning record, They're Not Like Us. In the track, Lamar calls Drake a pedophile for allegedly dating underage women. Drake has taken Lamar and his record company to court, suing for defamation. As for Singh, he took to X to apologize, writing, "I was born in this city. I love this city, but real talk, I get it. I shouldn't have gone at all. OVO and Drake have lifted the city and Canada for me. It'll always be Drake over Kendrick." Andrea Case, CTV News, Toronto.
CTV Morning Live is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
If you love cookies, pies, breads, and all things baked, we have the event for you. The Big Bake Sale is back again, hoping to cap last year's record-setting success. And the sweetest part isn't the baked goods, but the difference it makes for kids right here in Manitoba. Joining me now with all the tasty details are Lauren Zadarozny and Ariana Papiano from Green Crest Pharmacy. Hello to both of you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
The Big Bake Sale. It's been around for about 7 years.
7 years.
Tell us how you got involved with this.
So every year our pharmacy does something with the Dream Factory. So 7 years we've done some sort of fundraiser with the Dream Factory. So this is our 3rd year doing the Big Bake Sale theme.
Okay, so the Big Bake Sale is everything that you can imagine that is sweet and delicious,
Yes,
right?
Yeah. Yes.
Tell us who is involved with this.
So we have over 25 local bakeries involved.
Wow.
30 other businesses are donating raffle prizes to us. There's going to be face painting, free pottery painting, DJ, outdoor games, a lot of good stuff.
So it's really a family-friendly event?
Yes, yeah.
And so describe to me what it looks like, all the tables. What's on those tables?
Yeah, so our main tent is going to be the bake sale, which is where all the cookies, cupcakes, cannolis, breads, bagels, everything will be. That's going to be our main tent. We also have the face painting going on. Crockadoodle is coming out and sending up free pottery painting.
Okay.
We have raffle prizes with things such as like bomber tickets, Jets jerseys. So it's a full yard full of fun.
And last year you raised, the goal was to raise $10,000.
That's
you
right.
raised $15,000.
Yeah.
You've
Yes.
by far surpassed that.
We did.
What is your goal this year?
We set it for 10, but we're hoping to do 15 again. It gets bigger and better every year, and it's nice it's at our pharmacy this year, so all of our patients have said they're coming down,
Oh,
so
that's so nice.
it'll be nice to see everyone.
Okay, so these 25 local bakeries, they're getting involved and they're donating some of these things. So what does it mean as a community when you see people and businesses, you know, help out in such a big way?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that just working in healthcare, we always see families who are struggling or going through hard times with their loved ones. So with the pharmacy, this is our part in kind of going outside of our day-to-day jobs and giving back. And then having other people kind of take part of that initiative is just really nice to see.
It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. And then, of course, it's also great for your belly because you get a tasty treat at the same time.
Exactly.
But it's also helping kids. So tell us about the real benefit here.
So this year our dream child is Michael. He's 4 years old. He was diagnosed with leukemia when he was 2.
Poor little guy.
Yes. So for 2.5 years he struggled. Now he wants to go to Disney World. And his birthday's the day before Halloween. So he wants to go trick-or-treating in Halloween for his 5th birthday. So we are trying to make that happen.
And I understand his last treatment is coming up as well.
Yes.
Yes, I think he's wrapped up now.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. So he's getting his wish come true, but other kids have had their wishes as well.
Yep. Last year we sent Emma to Paris.
Wow.
Yes.
That's with her family?
With her family,
yeah.
So when you see their faces when they find out that they're actually doing this, what does it mean to you? Because does it feel like you finally accomplished what you really meant to do?
It's super meaningful. It's really sweet. It makes all the hard work.
It makes a difference for sure. And then we always get stories after the fact of how their trip was, the experiences they had. So just seeing it all come to life is really, really important.
Okay, so this event is coming up this Saturday. Tell us more on where you can find, where people can find you.
So it's at our pharmacy, Green Crest Pharmacy at 2770 Pembina Highway. It's from 11 to 2. And
bring your money.
Bring your money and come shop.
And you'll have all the bags and all the fun for the family as well while they enjoy those treats. Well, thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Thank
you. If you want more information, we have a link on our website.
All right, bake sale sounds delicious and good weather for it too. All right, outside this morning, good weather. Speaking of, 17 degrees and sunshine. We got a light breeze out of the north-northwest, 14 clicks, the pressure falling, humidity sitting at 74%. That breeze will get a little bit stronger later on into the day, but for the time being, it is on the lighter side and the sunshine looks good and the temperatures will be soaring today. So if you don't like the real heat coming this afternoon, get outside and enjoy this morning because it really is quite pleasant. For northern Manitoba, you might be in for some rain later today. Here in the south, there was a bit of precipitation, but that was earlier on. It's already tapered off and the sky beginning to clear now. With winds increasing, they might get up to about 40 clicks out of the north. Headed to a high of 25 today. 24, by the way, just for a reference point, that's normal for this time of year, so even slightly above seasonal temperatures. We didn't get a whole lot of rain yesterday. There were some areas that did, though, and as a result, air quality has improved around the province, so we have no air quality issues or warnings to talk about. Environment Canada has lifted everything across Manitoba. Clear conditions still expected overnight as we drop down to 14 degrees, and tomorrow up to 26. We do have a chance of some more precipitation, showers, maybe some thunderstorms, and a slightly stronger wind increasing again. And then it's back to the dry conditions as we're wrapping up the rest of this week and rolling on into the weekend, even getting as hot as 27 on Saturday. But Sunday could come with another round of rain. We'll be needing it by then. Slightly cooler temperatures, but cooling further yet once we're looking ahead into a cloudy start on Monday.
Thank you, Terry. A pregnant woman will have to pay thousands of dollars to have her baby here in Manitoba after being denied health coverage. She's being denied because she's still waiting for her permanent residence to be approved. But the baby's due date is less than 2 weeks away.
So far, we've spent like $5,000 outside the hospital.
Nika and Andrew Worth married in September and are expecting their first child together. Nika is here on an extended visitor visa until her permanent residency is approved. This means she is not eligible for health coverage, despite the fact she's married to a Manitoba resident and the child she's carrying will be a Canadian citizen. The couple says they have confirmed the baby will be covered by Manitoba Health, but in the meantime, they've taken out a line of credit and started a GoFundMe to pay for the anticipated $20,000 bill.
We would just have to pay it off like you pay off a car. You know, some people take on debt if they need a new car or something. We're going to have to take on debt to have a child in Canada, which seems almost ludicrous.
We reached out to the health minister for comment. A spokesperson from Cabinet Communications responded by email saying Manitoba provides insurance based on residency status, which is determined by the federal government. They say if Ottawa determines you are a resident, then you would be covered. Now to the extraordinary moment. Israeli airstrikes hit an Iranian state news studio as an anchor was live on air. And just a warning, this video is shocking to watch.
آنچه که ملاحظه کردید صدایی که شنیدید فضای غبارآلود استودیو.
The anchor was trying to broadcast as multiple strikes hit nearby, and then there was a direct hit that caused debris and dust to fill the air. Iran state media says this happened yesterday. This story is creating a whole new definition of family law.
So incredibly exciting to be able to do this with my mother. It's not something I thought I could ever dream of. She is the smartest woman I know.
That's Lori Butler and Megan Delarond of Kitchener. They're a mother and daughter who both got called to the bar in Ontario. The Law Society of Ontario says it believes this has never happened before. Lori and Megan are graduates of different law schools. Lori decided to become a lawyer in her 60s after her long career in teaching. She was encouraged by her daughter, Megan, to take on the challenge. Many people enjoy reality TV, including a couple of Winnipeggers, but they aren't watching Celebrity Housewives. Their fascination is with a unique type of bird. And as CTV's Devin McKendrick shows you now, they've been watching this show for years now.
You would hate to get it wrong. Streaks and dots.
A Winnipeg couple have been doing their part to protect North America's smallest falcon. Kim Bissot and her husband have set up a bird box on their property with a camera inside to monitor the American Kestrel.
The Kestrel is such a feisty little character that we just fell in love with them when they moved into our neighborhood.
They've been live streaming the Kestrel family since 2014 and working with local organizations to collect data on the raptor species.
They're losing their habitat for many different reasons, and so we have put up nest boxes to try to draw them into our area.
As part of their data collecting process, each year new hatchlings in the nest get banded just before they're ready to fly off on their own. The little metal band has a unique number that gets registered and allows researchers across the Americas to see where the bird has been.
That's allowed us to track this over time, so multiple generations, multiple species.
Courtney Schubert with the Assiniboine Park Conservancy says the information from banding not only helps people learn more about the birds, but also what is happening with the global climate.
With things like climate change, one of the things that we're learning from these bands is actually kind of how migration has changed over time.
Bissot and her husband banded 4 new birds this year, bringing their total to 45. The new birds are expected to leave the nest any day and start their own journey out into the world.
We had 2 females and 2 males this year, so that's always good for the population. Keep the species going.
Devin McKendrick, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Here's what's happening in traffic at Main and Broadway. Looks like a smooth drive over here. No issues to tell you about. If you see any problems out there, please let us know. And here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.36. The provincial average is lower at $1.27. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.26. The lowest price in the city is $1.19. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
Price at the pump brought to you by KidneyCard.ca. Get a free tow and a tax receipt for value of your car.
Time now for your responses to our question of the day, and we asked, what's your favorite baked good? Helen says she likes sticky cinnamon rolls. Thank you, Helen. Rylan says his favorite baked good is cookies and cupcakes. Amy says she loves cake pops. Thanks for your responses to all our question. And our question of the day has moved from Twitter. So now we want you to text your answer along with your name to 10400. That's 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who is, oh my goodness, what are you up to, Ainsley?
Well, they said that burly men at Bombers games can do this without shoes on, so I said, well, you can definitely lift me. Woo. And this is the 4th time we've tried this. The first time I tearfully said, no, I'm not doing it. But look, here we are. Hi, Haley. Thanks for joining us from above.
You gonna be okay?
Yeah. Oh, that's when you say, thank you for joining me on the top of this pyramid. Don't laugh down low. Don't laugh. We need you sturdy. Okay, so tell us about how this happens.
How this happened?
Oh, yeah. How do we get here?
How do we get here? We jump in and we trust the people underneath us that they're going to keep us up there.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You're here. You did it.
I know, we have done it. I'm very, very nervous. You mentioned the element of trust. How integral is that when it comes to cheer?
So important, especially at the higher levels when we start releasing people or lifting them or throwing them and catching them, not just standing here nice and tight. It becomes very, very hard to, you know, and it takes a long time to build that trust with your bases underneath you. So we try to keep our groups consistent so people can trust each other a little more.
So you do this on day one with everyone?
Everyone, just for you, Ainsley.
Okay, you guys have an open house coming up so that people can actually come in and, okay, should we go down?
Yeah, we can go down, we can go down.
Okay.
All right, everybody come on down.
Okay, thank you. So gracefully done. The segment's not done. I just needed a little bit more time to recover my step. At Vision Cheer, you've got all ages, so as young as 2 all the way up to 35. Tell us about the range.
Yeah, well, actually, I should say we have a parent team also, and they go up to about 55. So we really have a wide variety, but in our competitive stream, like most of our world's athletes cap out at about 35, but we start them young, and then there's room for them to retire to our parent teams or recreational streams in the future when they don't want to compete anymore.
Looks like timed that out perfectly. There's the tumbling component as well. We've seen that throughout the morning. How do you integrate the tumbling and the lifts and the other motions?
Yeah, so it's a 2-minute and 30-second routine. So it's about 65% stunting and then about 10 to 15% tumbling. So they kind of do their stunts and then they'll make a transition and then they'll go into tumbling and then they'll transition into stunting. So we choreograph like different pieces and transitions to allow them to flow through that motion.
Okay, I hope you guys come to this open house. Back to you.
Wow. That was good. Thank you, Ainsley. Oh my goodness.
Look what I can do. No, I'm not even. No.
Don't fly off the building.
Right?
Goodness, wrong
You're
way.
gonna make me start wearing a safety harness when I up here if I start doing tricks.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's a good day to play outside, maybe.
Absolutely. Head to a park by all means. Do some tumbling or just sit and relax. If you're of a certain age and a certain athleticism, just sit and relax. You're good. 17 degrees right now. It is a warm one out here this morning with plenty of sun shining over us and north-northwest winds 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 74%. That humidity dropping a little bit as well. And as that continues to happen, we might start to feel a little more pleasant today. What we don't want is the heat, the sunshine, and that humidity with that stifling air then lingering. Speaking of air, air quality has improved all around the province. Yesterday, we did have some statements still issued by Environment Canada through East Central Manitoba. All of those warnings and even the statements have been lifted across Manitoba. There are still a couple of warnings, couple of statements in areas just to the east of us through parts of northwestern Ontario. But another round of rain could be helping that as well. Moving through northern Manitoba, showers, maybe some thunderstorms today. Temperatures are still going to be pretty warm no matter where you are. Low 20s across much of northern Manitoba. Mid-20s here in the south, and southern Manitoba will reach those mid-20s with sunshine and dry conditions, at least for today. Tomorrow we could be getting another round of rain. We really didn't see much here in Winnipeg yesterday, but tomorrow the chance of showers or thunderstorms will take us into the afternoon. And then we're looking at sunny, dry conditions to finish off the rest of this work week and carry us into the weekend. We're taking a break right now, but stick around. We'll be coming back in just a moment with more CTV Morning Live.
CTV Morning Live Weather brought to you by Canadian Footwear, where size does matter.
Good morning, it's 8:44. A 23-year-old man is facing charges after police say 2 transit supervisors were assaulted aboard a city bus. The incident happened late Saturday afternoon near Fort Street and Graham Avenue downtown. The 2 supervisors boarded the bus to check on a man who was asleep. However, when he woke up, police say he became violent and allegedly attacked the pair. Officers arrived while the struggle was still going on and took him into custody. The 2 supervisors received minor injuries but didn't need medical treatment. The public inquiry into the scandal-plagued Winnipeg Police Service headquarters is moving forward. The project, which saw the city purchase and retrofit the former Canada Post building on Graham Avenue, went tens of millions of dollars over budget. A civil court judge ruled former city CAO Phil Schiegel accepted a bribe from a contractor involved in the project. An inquiry into what happened is planned for winter and spring of next year, but first the commissioner has to decide who can take part in the process. Individuals and groups have to apply to be granted standing to participate before Friday, August the 8th. Then a hearing will be held on Wednesday, September 10th to decide. A new study adds to the growing body of evidence showing how much of a role fathers play in helping children develop. The study was published in the journal JAMA Pediatrics. It found fathers' mental distress is slightly associated with subpar child development, including cognitive, social, emotional, language, and physical development. Researchers defined mental distress as depression, anxiety, or stress. The findings were especially true in the perinatal period, which spans conception to 2 years postpartum.
He's been getting smiles and laughs from kids for more than 30 years, and Dudu the clown is now back in town. Dudu is also known as the clown from Adam Sandler's movie Billy Madison. He joins us now live in studio. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm just having fun here. Hi, everybody. It's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
And you know what? You love CTV Morning Live.
I do. I've been coming for years, and you guys have been coming to see me, and just thank you for being here. And thank you to all my friends in Winnipeg and the surrounding area. I was just in Brandon last week, and I watched you guys every morning and wave to you as I'm getting ready. And
yes, I love that. Well, talk about that time in Brandon, because you're known for bringing smiles, of course, but you brought some smiles to the children who needed it most.
Yeah, where we were staying, our hotel had evacuees from all over, and me walking in, and so it wasn't that I felt obligated or I had to, but I had so much fun entertaining these kids. First of all, a lot of them have never seen a clown up front and close. And
what was the reaction?
It was amazing. Like, pictures and balloons, and it was very heartwarming, and sad to hear some of the stories. And so I'm not going to get emotional, but it was beautiful. Yeah. But it was really beautiful to put some smiles on, faces with, what's going on. So.
And you've always got some tricks up your sleeve. I saw this just off the jump.
Yeah,
but what else did you bring?
I'm always doing
because
stuff.
There's always something around the corner.
You know what? I'm going to ask everybody at home, just pick your favorite color. Are you ready? Pick your favorite color. All the colors? Okay, 1, 2, 3, all your colors. Unbelievable. Wow. Here, do me a favor. Hold that for me.
I will.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't worry.
Where'd it go?
Unbelievable. Here, I like making things. I can make anything in the world. I can make over 1,000 different things, but they all look like a dog. Let me just try this. Hold that for me. Thanks. Now what I'm going to do, sorry. Now here we go.
I don't trust you now.
No, you should. Now I hand out. Just go like this. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Now I hand out literally thousands of balloons during the Red River X.
Oh my gosh.
I have an amazing team that is in a room, and all they're doing all day is getting balloons ready for me to hand out, because I don't want to leave anybody behind. I want everyone to be happy. We're doing balloon hats and comedy magic and stuff like that. And that's for you. Unbelievable.
Over 30 years you've been there specifically too.
Yes. It's going to be my 31st year. The Red River X is amazing because they change up all the entertainment. They change up everything. But sometimes they bring back, thank goodness, a few acts that can stroll and just, cause some excitement and have fun and just put smiles on faces. I love to get families that come up to me now that, when they were kids, they used to come see me. Now they're parents, and they come and get photos. So it's quite amazing. It's in fact, I try to give out sometimes. Well, I try to give out stuff. Okay. See, the bag is empty. It's empty.
Nothing in there.
I put my hand in the bag. Name something. Let's do flowers today. Whoa, look at that. And you're thinking, okay, the bag is empty. Watch. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3. I put my hand in the bag, and it's more flowers and more. All right, one more. Here we go. Nothing in the bag. Take a look. Okay. All right, 1, 2.
Diamonds.
Flowers with diamonds. Unbelievable. Yeah. No, just always having fun. But this year at the Red River X, they've got shows every part of the exhibition. They've just opened up so much more space. There's amazing rides, the food. I went by early this morning on the way here, and the smells are unbelievable. I mean, I work at fairs and festivals all over, but Winnipeg knows how to do it right. Oh, yeah.
Well, because there were so many flowers. Dudu,
well,
thank you so much.
It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
It's 10 days. 10 days.
Less now. We've been off for a couple, but thank you, Dudu. We'll be checking you out there. Honestly, the weather is going to be fantastic throughout the X week. Right now, we're sitting at 17 degrees. It is warming up quickly in the city with north-northwest winds 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 74%. Clear conditions. Now, we had a little bit of precipitation passing in areas surrounding Winnipeg. That was earlier this morning. Now it's out of the way and the sky continuously clearing. But for northern Manitoba, you could be getting some rain, and we welcome that. It's still been dry, and you didn't get that precipitation yesterday that we saw passing through parts of southern Manitoba. Winnipeg didn't get much either, but some parts of southern Manitoba certainly did, and central Manitoba, and it really helped with the air quality. Now all of those warnings have been lifted throughout the province. Northern Manitoba, with that shower activity moving through today, could see a thunderstorm and still some very mild or warm temperatures, seasonal if you will, into these low 20s, and we certainly hope that there's no lightning striking in those dry areas, but we will welcome all of the rain that's going to be moving through the north. Here through southern Manitoba, mid-20s and sunshine. Breeze will be picking up later on into the day, at times getting up to about 40 kilometers per hour. We will welcome that air moving things around. Will be a warm one today in the mid-20s. And then further to the east of us, the possibility that you could still see a shower, maybe a thunderstorm through parts of northwestern Ontario. Tomorrow, we have another chance of getting some precipitation passing through, more likely into the afternoon. Showers, possible thunderstorms, up to 26 degrees. So just for a reference point, 24, that's normal for this time of year. We'll be above it for the next couple of days, back to the seasonal temps with the sky clearing out after tomorrow's precipitation rolls through. And then it heats up a little bit more as we're rolling on into the weekend, up to 27 degrees Saturday, slight bit of a cool down with some showers on Sunday, and slightly cooler yet as we're looking ahead into next week. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with more CTV Morning Live.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center.
Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
All right, Terry, let's wrap up this Tuesday show. Neil Peart, Dave Grohl, and Stuart Copeland are some of the greatest drummers of all time. Then there's Callum. Callum isn't even 2 yet, but he's already a viral sensation on Instagram with millions of views. He's been air drumming since he was just 2 days old.
Aww.
Full disclosure, his dad is a musician and his mom also sings. Well, I think he's
it's
born in that. Exactly. Now to a workout buddy that makes training fun. Who needs to go to the gym when you have an active dog? Marv keeps his owner motivated while she works out, from triceps to legs to biceps. They call this the full body Frenchie burn. And you may have seen people dancing with their dogs, but this dancing duo is a little different. Check out this chicken as she weaves her way through her owner's legs. Koa has also been taught how to jump over a bar, dance around it, and more. That does it for us. Have a good day.